One. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Pop Culture Today. PCT Episode 3. This podcast is still going on, dude. Can't believe we made it to a...
Me is still going on. Where would it go?
I just can't believe we made it to
Introduce us.
Oh yeah, my bad. I am joined by, on this fine, lovely Saturday amateur, dude. This is our third one.
Yeah, it's episode 3 means, man.
We're pros now.
We are pros. We should be getting paid for this. What's going on?
Introduce us.
Jake is here.
I'm Jake.
Being very rude. And
I'm not being rude.
good friend Matt, he's also here as well.
Why does he get the good friend title?
I
I was just called Jake.
No, you're not Matt.
Jake's
I
here.
thought.
That's it.
Jake from State Farm.
We have my best friend Matt,
My best
and then we also have Jake.
my lifelong friend that lives in Vermont, he's here. Representing pop culture today.
His address will be in the link in the description if you want to check him.
You want to check him out?
Yes,
Hey, Bob,
sir.
Find him on Google Earth.
So yeah, how you guys been this week?
Yeah, pretty good.
Busy.
What happened? Busy?
Yeah, same.
Yeah, it'd be like that. But we're here right now. That's all that matters.
Crazy week, different news. A lot of stuff going
So
on.
much stuff.
At least it wasn't
Well, actually,
crazy.
there was a lot of news today. I wouldn't mind interjecting some news you guys wouldn't mind later on.
Go for
Some
it.
new
Go
news
for
that's
it.
come out.
Yeah,
So-
100%, dude. Let's have a
That's regarding the
conversation.
PS5. There was like a video and stuff that was leaked, so I don't know.
Let's have a conversation, man.
Let's have a conversation.
So yeah, there was a lot of Star Wars stuff that happened this week, dude. A lot of
Yeah.
Star Wars stuff. I guess it's kind of Destiny because next week we're getting that Battlefront 2 update.
Woo.
So some of us are excited for that. Matt's not.
Others are Matt.
I'm not saying, I just don't play Battlefront 2. Get me out of this conversation, alright? I don't want part of this.
But yeah, a lot of Star
You don't
Wars
want to play
news happened.
BB-8 and BB-9E? Is
No.
that what you're saying right now?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
So you're not a true Star Wars fan. I get it.
He has a BB-8
Makes
shirt,
sense.
dude. 100%.
I have a BB-8 costume.
You have a BB-8. Why didn't you go see Rise of Skywalker in that? In BB-8.
I did, just not with you. Ooh. I went to go see it 6 times, each one with a different costume.
I know you hate that movie way too much to go see it 6 times.
This is very true. I've only seen it once. I did not go see it more than once.
Welcome everybody to the stream, though. Highly appreciate everybody coming out tonight. It's been pretty good. But yeah, dude, I think the live stream format for this is really working well, I will say. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, works for me.
I like it.
Yeah, and then we can also interact with our viewers and stuff like that. So Chief Mason, what's up, buddy? Welcome to the stream, man. I really do like
All two.
just like there's 4 people watching.
Whoa!
Yeah, dude. It's
What else, dude?
it's a turnout, man.
Dude, are we PewDiePie?
But yeah, so
He's the next
earlier-
guest star. Let's keep a lookout for that in the coming week.
in the coming week, dude. Yeah. But like I said earlier, we had a lot of Star Wars news this past week, and one of which, and I'm personally excited and happy about this. Say what you want about Phantom Menace. I think it's the best prequel. But
Yeah, okay. Let's not get into that debate at the moment, shall we?
don't have me.
That's exactly what we're about to. That's exactly what we're about to
It's
get
not my
into,
fault
though.
you
That's
understand
exactly what's about to happen.
amazingness.
It's exactly what's about to happen.
But yeah, Rise of Skywalker is officially the lowest rated Star Wars film. Can we get a round of applause? Let's get a round of applause. I'm proud of that. That's exactly what the movie deserves.
If you're wondering who was the lowest rated before, it was the Phantom Menace.
It was.
For
Did not
reasons we all
deserve
know.
it. Did not deserve it.
Very
That
well
deserved.
deserved. Worst Star Wars movie ever.
You're delusional. Anyway,
Honestly, I couldn't decide between Attack of the Clones and Phantom Menace, which was worse, to be quite honest.
I think Attack of the Clones is worse than Phantom Menace. I still don't think Phantom Menace
See,
is
the
that
thing
great.
is,
of a
though, I
movie.
grew up with the prequels, so I still enjoy them no matter what. It's like one of those things with me, so I don't know. They're bad movies. Well, some of them are bad. Revenge of the Sith is an masterpiece, but
whoa, Revenge of the Sith.
best Star Wars movie. Change my mind. You can't.
What?
You're
Yeah,
saying
you're-
Revenge of the Sith is the
Empire
best
Strikes
Star
Back,
Wars
Return of the
movie?
Jedi are
Hey,
easily better than Revenge of the Sith.
The original trilogy
I love those movies too. I just
outweighs
love Revenge of the Sith, dude.
Revenge of the
Sith's
Sith.
amazing.
by tenfold.
Everything Revenge of the Sith is amazing. I'm like, you know what? No, we're not getting into this right now, Jalen. We all
Yeah,
know what
we're-
you're gonna say.
Yeah, we're not.
We'll see.
I don't think we
We'll
need
see
to.
about
It's a bandwagon. All right. Anyway, Sorry to
Bandwagon? What bandwagon?
What bandwagon?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I want to hear this one. What
If anything,
bandwagon,
Revenge of the
Matt?
Sith is
You know
a
what?
bandwagon.
Not really. Revenge of the Sith is pretty original. You know, whenever you hear somebody say their favorite movie, it's always Empire Strikes Back. So you know, I feel kind of special being.
My favorite
I like
movie
Revenge of the
is
Sith.
A New Hope. I think Empire Strikes Back is the best one.
Empire Strikes Back is the best one, but my favorite is Return of the Jedi.
I think the best was
Bandwagon.
Attack of the Clones. My favorite is Revenge of the Sith.
The best one is Rise of
Empire Strikes
Skywalker.
Back
My
is probably
favorite's
the
Last
best
Jedi.
from a wide perspective, but for me, my personal favorite is Revenge of the Sith.
Okay, I respect that.
I don't.
Well,
Too bad. It's 2020. Get over
yeah,
it.
it's 2020. We gotta respect it.
Yeah, I
yeah.
think it's kind of funny that it's the worst rated one now. It's such like a hype going into it of this is not only going to be the end of the new trilogy, this is going to be the end of a saga,
Mm-hmm.
and then plummet. So, yeah, there's like, it's just sad.
Dude,
Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga is all I care about. All right.
Really, that's the only thing good coming out of all this Star Wars, you know, new Lego game.
it's a real disappointment, I will say. And I was really
Sorry.
looking forward to this movie, dude. I really was, and
Yeah,
it's just I never felt so betrayed in my life. I guess the feeling
Betrayed?
is- It really does feel like that, though. And
do we want to put out a spoiler warning just in case?
No,
Just-
I don't think we need to. Not in this video.
Okay.
I don't think.
So
we
we're
need
not
to
gonna go into it then.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Okay.
it really was a disappointment, dude. And I'm perfectly fine with where it sits as far as ratings go. I think it deserves to be the lowest rated Star Wars film.
Yeah, I can definitely see myself watching any other Star Wars movie.
Look, what we gotta take away from this, right, is they did their best they could. All right, you know what?
They
Just
could've
because
done
the
better.
lowest
Did they?
rating doesn't mean it's a just no. I mean,
Did
I
they
don't
do
know.
the best they could? Because I don't think they did.
You know, no, dude. After seeing that leaked concept art, we got robbed.
After seeing the leaked
Dude, that
script,
concept, the script, okay, we'll get to that later. But the concept art that was revealed later on about all the stuff is like 600 times
The
better
issue
than the story
with
we
Rise of
got.
Skywalker is they played it too safe. Overall, I don't think. Okay,
That's probably a lot of
everything
stuff
wise,
now.
In a bundle, everything wise, I think it's better than Phantom Menace in those. When it comes to the basics of the story, but the reason why I think it deserves its spot below them is it plays it way too safe. That's my opinion where I sit on it. I don't think it's like as bad. Like I found myself more entertained in Rise of Skywalker than Phantom Menace. I will say that. But when it comes to most of the story purposes, I totally agree where it sits. It's definitely not nearly as
Yeah.
good as
yeah, and like I said, dude, the movie visually, it's stunning. It's a good-looking movie. You know,
Yeah.
the set pieces are nice. But when I go watch a Star Wars movie, I'm not watching it just to, you know, sit back and be awed by
Yeah.
lightsaber.
I'm
duels
not
and-
here for, explosions
Yeah, I'm
and
here because I'm invested in the story. And
yeah.
this,
Star Wars isn't an action movie, I don't think. I wouldn't classify it as an action movie.
To me, I actually didn't have a big issue with the movie really until the end. The end is when it all just came crashing down. I'm like, you know what? This movie isn't the best, but I can watch it. Whenever they get to like the Sith world and the whole Ben Solo thing, and then the Rey Skywalker, I'm like, you know what? That broke it for me. I'm like, I can't. I'm like, this movie, I was gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, it's not as bad as they laid it out to me, but I totally understand people got the hate from after the ending. That ending pissed me that like freaking off, dude.
I didn't like it when the beginning scroll started happening.
Mhm.
And
Dead speak.
The dead speak, and then all of that happened, and then
Dude,
I got
the
annoyed
funniest
from
part
there.
about that is if you're a Star Wars fan, you had to find the lore of the actual broadcast in Fortnite. How sad is that? That's the only place you can
That's
listen.
another thing that really annoys me. That's another thing that really annoys me. Is that they're like, how should we get it out to fans that there's stuff that's happened between the two eras? Should we do a book? People have been complaining there's no novelizations. Should we do a comic? We can do more comic. Maybe we'll just post it on Twitter. No, let's put it in a game.
A kid's game, nonetheless.
A kid's
Like, not even-
game.
Not even like a Star Wars game. Not even in Fallen Order. Let's put it
not
in
even
Fortnite.
Fallen Order. Not even
Like,
Fallen Order.
Fallen Order at least would have made sense because it was part of the material it was coming from. But I mean,
maybe another story DLC for Battlefront 2.
Or how about a trailer for the movie if you didn't want to do it?
How about for a trailer for the movie? How about
That should
putting
have
in
been
the
a monologue.
How about putting in the
monologue
movie?
with trailer had
Actually-
Palpatine's voice, dude? That'd been awesome. Everybody would have freaked.
We actually had
How
someone
about putting in the
comment.
movie?
We actually had someone comment say, as someone who saw A New Hope as a new release in the 70s, I think Rise of Skywalker gave us everything we wanted to end the saga.
I mean, I can respect people's point of view on it. I'm not like for me. I just felt like they played it too safe.
This person, but
No, to me they just played it too safe. I just don't personally like it. You know, that's the issue of the Star Wars community. I said, I think last week, is that everybody's so focused on hating each other. No, everybody's forgotten the love of Star Wars to begin with.
You know, I'm reading this
Everybody's got
comment.
opinions
I'm reading
on
this
stuff.
comment. I'm not like mad or furious that she doesn't like it. I'm like,
No.
hey,
Everybody's forgotten the love of Star Wars.
everyone sees film differently. Everyone sees
Yeah.
storytelling differently. You know, I might listen to a song and get a certain message out of it, and Jake might listen to the same song and get a different message out of it, and we might either like it for different reasons, dislike it for different reasons, or I might like it, he might dislike it. It's all due to interpretation. And,
Yeah.
you know, this, I'm not one to get too confrontational when it comes to my opinion on movies, especially Star Wars, just because of the fan base. And I gotta say, I think the fan base is the number one thing tearing the saga
Oh,
and the
definitely.
franchise as a whole apart.
Yeah.
People are overreacting way too much to the whole, like, Disney maybe has not done what people want them to do with it, but remember, they're not going to do everything you want them to do. They're their own, like, they do whatever they feel like doing. It might not be good, but it's not, like, really... And if you're entitled, in my opinion, you shouldn't have any place. It's like, if you're just assuming they're going to do something you like, then you just shouldn't expect that, because that's not how anything in movie business works.
Yeah, I mean, like, I can say I didn't like the, I'm not a huge fan of the new trilogy. I really didn't like most of the characters, but like, I'm not gonna say that no one should enjoy it. I'm not gonna go out and say like, so I'm not gonna, to say you're wrong for enjoying this.
Yeah.
It's to each his own.
And like I said, like when we were just talking about like how I said Revenge of the Sith is my personal favorite, people would probably hate my opinion on that entire thing. I loved it because to me it was my first it was my first real like Star Wars movie as a kid, and just the impact it has. I just love that movie so much.
That's exactly that. I'm glad you said that, because that's exactly how I am when it comes to Phantom Menace. That was my first, as far as I can remember, that was my first Star Wars film I watched. I remember sitting down watching it on TNT, and I was so just captivated by especially the last fight, dude, at the very end with Darth Maul and Qui-Gon and Obi Wan. I was just mesmerized because 5-year-old Jalen never seen anything this crazy. Granted, it was quite a bit of time after it was released in theaters, but it was like, for me, it was just something that resonated, and I was like, dude, this is really cool.
That's one thing that Star Wars always gets right, is like fights, because like the music mixed with the
Duel of the Heroes,
the actual duels are just amazing. What'd you say, Matt?
It's a Duel of the Heroes, Obi-Wan and Anakin on Mustafar.
That
like
is-
Revenge of the Sith, no one can deny it's the best entire lightsaber
it's a
duel.
great
Yeah.
lightsaber duel.
It's friggin' fantastic.
Yeah, 100%, dude. There's every single Star Wars movie has something that's beautiful about it. The music, you can't tell me one Star Wars movie that's bad music. There's not one.
I forgot. There's something forgettable, like Solo, kind of forgettable music track.
Yeah, but
Solo
even
still
then-
has some pretty good ones.
Yeah,
I really don't remember a lot of the Solo ones, in all honesty.
but
So I can't say they're bad. I'm just saying I just don't remember them.
I don't know, man. This Rise of Skywalker, it's a movie. It really is. I might need to watch it again. Maybe I'm being too harsh on it. But granted, when I walked out of that theater, dude, and Jake, you were there with me. We saw it together. When we walked out of that theater, I said 7.5. You said 7. Later that
And
night,
then we thought about it.
Later that night, we digested it, and I was like, dude, I'm at like a 5 for this movie.
It took me till I left the actual theater for me to go, maybe not a 7.
Yeah.
I just felt like it was very near the end. I felt like they were just trying to rush it too fast. That's my biggest complaint. It just felt like everything was just. It was so crazy.
The entire movie felt rushed.
Well, it did feel rushed, but the ending was just all over the place between the Force healing and the Force reviving, and this person's this person. And, it's just like the whole Ben Solo thing felt like I was really liking where they were going to go with that. But then when he died, I got annoyed. I'm like, you just threw away a character that could have been used, and then the Rise of Skywalker thing. I'm like, I get what they're trying to say about family isn't who you're born with; it's who you are. It's who you are with. It's your friends and stuff, the closest people you know. But I just feel
so
like
much for our spoiler warning. Good job, Matt.
Oh, we were saying spoilers earlier than that. We said
I know, but you just gave the entire movie away.
That's fine.
No, but earlier we said
the movie's been out for a long time now. It's fine.
But dude, everybody that's gonna see it has seen it. I'm sorry.
It's been a month.
If you're, I mean, it's one of those things where
it has.
It's been, yeah.
It's been exactly a month, huh?
A month and about a week. It came out on we saw on the 17th.
That's right, 17th. But yeah.
Oh,
so sorry, people
that,
who were watching this get spoiled, but it's just...
last week it finally crossed $1 billion, which is the slowest.
It took a while.
Endgame was a massive hit for last year. Everybody thought Rise of Skywalker would dethrone Endgame. I'm like, no.
I thought after it would, the way, dude. I'm not gonna lie, dude.
I didn't think it would, dude. After Last Jedi, I'm like, they're the people who despise Last Jedi, they're not even gonna want to go see it. Either they're gonna see it just to see it, or they're not gonna want to.
Well, I didn't think it would dethrone Endgame, but I definitely thought it would be definitely top 5 highest grossing movies of all time.
Oh, dude, didn't it hit hard in Japan? No one went and saw it. It was very.
Star Wars movies never do well over there, though.
I thought the other ones did. I thought Force Awakens and Last Jedi did racked in a lot of people.
No, Star Wars movies have a bad, grossing over in China and Japan and all that. They never do well over there.
But I don't know. It's just. To me, it didn't feel like Star Wars. It felt like another major blockbuster release and bombastic, like you said, action and stuff. It didn't feel like a Star Wars movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was wrong.
It felt. It just didn't feel
out of place. The entire Last Jedi and Force Awakens. I'm like, okay, I could totally see that being in the Star Wars universe. Rise of Skywalker just felt out of place to me. This feels very
The thing I don't like, the thing I didn't like with Rise of Skywalker, and it kind of goes for the entire trilogy, is that none of the movies felt connected. But especially for Rise of Skywalker, at least for me, it felt like it wasn't connected to the saga at all. The new trilogies was just
directors, though, midway through the movies. I blame a lot of it on that. Because Rian Johnson didn't like things J.J. Abrams did. J.J. Abrams didn't like things Rian Johnson did. It was just a mess. I'm like,
there wasn't a strong enough head of the community there, just saying, this is something that needs to stay, and this is something that is allowed to be changed.
Kathleen Kennedy's here to save the day.
I'm a person, dude. I'm a person to say that I don't think the different directors was the issue, because there's been numerous franchises with different directors in every single movie, and the movies.
I don't think it was the directors. I think it was just there was no one there.
Issue, dude.
The thing is,
there was no one there to say.
No, but J.J. Abrams knew where he wanted to go with it after Force Awakens, and Rian Johnson's like, "Well, I really like what you did." I'm not blaming this on Rian Johnson. I think Disney was part of it, yes, but I think a lot of those are the directors changing, because Rian Johnson didn't like what J.J. Abrams did. He's like, okay, well, we're not going to do that. We're doing something different. And then everybody was so pissed off about Rian Johnson. J.J. Abrams tried to please both sides. Okay, well, we have to go off Last Jedi for continuity reasons, but people hated it. So what are we going to do? So to me, it felt very muddled. It felt like, I don't know, it just felt like a cluster of everything not working right.
Yeah, that's the thing is there should have been someone there that was just, someone that said, this is what can be changed and this is what can't. Because if you don't have that person there, directors are going to take hold of that, because that's their job.
The MCU does.
That's their job. Is a director is supposed to make the movie, basically,
Well, Kevin Feige, he's not the director, though. He's just more of he's the guy who brings in the reins for all the directors. He's the one's okay, well, here's your guidelines. You can't do this, can't do that, because it's going to break continuity. I know what you're saying, but like you said, they need someone. Isn't Kathleen Kennedy supposed to be that for Star Wars, though?
Well, she's supposed to do that for all Star Wars, not just the movies. But I don't think she's doing it. I don't think she's doing a good job at all. She was the reason that now Obi Wan TV show is no longer going to be. is no longer going to be going.
I just
It's
want them to
delayed indefinitely for the time being.
Like, I'm just like, they said they're going to take a break. They didn't take a break. They lied because, I mean, a break is like a few years. They took a break for what, a year? And now they're back to it again?
Well, they took a break for a month and then said, okay, well, we got to get stuff going.
Here, we don't know where to go from Star Wars from now on, so we're going to make something up. Meanwhile, entire extended universe, nah, we're going to throw that away.
That's what Kathleen Kennedy said. She's like, everyone was like complaining, like, why are there no novelizations? Why is there nothing happening, going on in books and stuff? And she goes,
we're just not using it.
She said there's not enough source material to go off of. That's like what she said, and I was so annoyed by that.
It's such an ignorant statement too. Like, it's coming from somebody who obviously doesn't know Star Wars. If you're saying that, like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, like that makes no sense. There's not enough. It makes no sense. It really doesn't.
Star Wars is almost to the point where you could it'll never end of content if you know what you're doing. Like, you can just keep pumping it out with new because it's such like its own world.
It's a giant universe. You know, people have been doing it for a while now. You know, there's no reason that there couldn't be. I just think, you know, maybe we should slow down a bit. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm at the point where, like I said previously, I can go 10, 20 years without another Star Wars film.
Honestly.
And this is the main reason why. The people in charge have no idea what Star Wars is or what it means to the fans. And there's just no vision anymore, man. These movies are only made to make money. Disney only bought this to make money. They didn't buy it because they were passionate about it. They bought it because they saw another property that could end up possibly like the MCU. And, you know, and they have made money. They've made a lot of money, and
that's the problem right
100% worked out for them.
Is like that's the problem right there. Like you said, they're trying to do you have TV shows, video games, movies. Like, I'm glad Star Wars is popular. Like, I'm totally glad. But the thing is, you have so many different types of people who want different things from Star Wars, you know? There's people like us who like just the movies, you know? People who like the video game universe. And, like, TV shows, I mean, I'm fine with, but it feels kind of unneeded for Star Wars. But I like what they're doing with it so far with Mandalorian. But, like, I don't want Star Wars to get to the point where I have to, like, freaking watch every TV show and play every video game to know what's going on in the movies. Star Wars has never been that.
It's the same exact way with the MCU, dude.
But MCU, though, is layered like that from the beginning. Star Wars has always been, like, a special thing for, like, okay, contained trilogy stories. You know, like, extended universe stuff I understand, but, like, certain things, like, I don't need to have to play a video game or a TV show or a spin-off to know what's going on. That's the thing with Star Wars. It's just
that's what I always liked about Star Wars, too, is that just because there was enough to do in, like, a Star Wars universe where you could have a game that has really no tie into the movies, or if it does have a tie into the movies, it doesn't affect the movies so much that you have to, like, explain anything. There should be no reason as to, I have to play this game to know what's happening in the next thing, because there's no point in doing that. You know, with the MCU, you can kind of see that where it's like, you know, there's a lot of very small details in the MCU where you can see where one small thing can happen and it can lead to a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. But Star Wars, I feel, is a much bigger universe than, you know.
And they built the MCU with that concept. Like, they didn't just like adapt to it midway through the MCU. They're like, okay, we have a goal. We have like that's what they tried. Well, if you look back at the Raimi movies and the old X-Men, like Kevin Feige helped with those. He wanted to do the same thing back then.
He wanted to start the quote unquote MCU with the Raimi
Spider-Man,
movies.
Toby.
Yeah.
That fell through, but like Star Wars, like I mean, so far, like I don't think you have to play Fallen Order to know what's going on in the movies. I mean, like it would, you know, like I said, but I don't want to get to that point. Like, I just want to get to the point where everything is connected. Like, I don't want this from the MCU 2.0 because first of all, it'll feel very unoriginal and very uninspired, and second of all, Star Wars will lose its luster. Like, you're not gonna like want to like.
Yeah, and that's
being a Star Wars fan felt special.
That's my biggest issue with it as of right now is oversaturation. And I've said this so many times over the last few years. The market is oversaturated with Star Wars. We used to be at a point where we got one Star Wars movie every few years, and that was it. You know, and this set aside the games and the TV shows.
Because games are always there.
That was it. In the last 5 years, we've gotten 5 movies.
We've gotten Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Rogue One, Solo, Rise of Skywalker, Battlefront 1 and 2, Fallen Order, let's see, Mandalorian TV show,
Rebels.
like Rebels, Resistance,
Resistance,
being Clone Wars Season 7, which is fine because that's a continuation. That's a totally separate.
And a ton of Star Wars comics have been coming out lately.
It's just oversaturated, dude.
Yeah, I hate that, dude. Like, when did Star Wars become like a comic series? I mean, it's been there for a long time. I know.
Well, Star Wars has always been a comic.
That's the extended though. But like a lot of it, like, oh, do you want to know how Kylo Ren became Kylo Ren? Read this comic line. It's like, why don't you read a comic? This is part of the trilogy.
It should be that I need to read a comic to figure out how.
Yeah. Extended stuff, like I said, I have no issue.
Imagine the prequels. Imagine the prequels where you got Phantom Menace, you got Attack of the Clones, and then for Revenge of the Sith, it just starts out as he's already Vader, and then you just live like a movie about Vader, and it's like read this comic to see what happened in between.
Or like how the clones were made. Like, oh, I wonder how these guys got here. Here, read this comic line. This is how the clone troopers were made. It's like, okay.
Yeah, imagine like those giant plot points, and just like now imagine, just go read this comic.
Because Kylo Ren's the best character we can all agree, hands down, with the new trilogy, right?
Yeah.
Like he's the best character.
I agree.
I still don't know a freaking thing about him. I mean, I know like he's been Solo. I know like he was like Luke and all that stuff. But we don't know how he became affiliated with the Knights of Ren. We don't know why he made his name Kylo Ren. We don't know really who trained him. Like I said, unless this is in the comics, which I haven't read.
It is in the comics. It is in the comics. There's a lot of point, all of that is explained in the comics.
Exactly, but that's my point. Moviegoers, especially older folks, who like even grew up with like the original movies, or even us with prequels. Like just the people who are not new to the series, who have been here for a long time, should not have to read comics to know what's going on with the series. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
For the mainline movies, anyway. Spin-offs and stuff, that's different because again, extended universe stuff doesn't really matter. So
I mean, like, I don't think they shouldn't do comics. I just think that big plot points like Kylo Ren's kind of origin, that should be something that was in a movie, not just like some drugged backflash that was
But I guess you could say the same thing with Darth Maul.
Force Awakens. Because
Darth Maul's in Phantom Menace, he had no backstory, which I guess is one of the reasons why Phantom Menace was kind of like iffy, because there was no like.
To be fair, that worked for his character though, because he wasn't in the other movies, Well,
I think that's what built him up though, is everybody wanted to know who he was. But the thing is, like, they probably should have addressed that in the movie too, Like, it's not just Kylo Ren.
You can say that about a lot of the characters in Star Wars. A lot of them don't. If we're just talking from a movie point of view, a lot of them don't have backstories.
Well, I think it's different with Darth Maul for having a backstory because like there was never a plan to do a backstory with Maul. He was just a character that was an adversary, and then that was when they were asking the question like, was that the master or the apprentice? And that was it. They weren't expecting him to be such like a fan character, where they wanted him to keep going, so that's why they brought him in Clone Wars.
Clone Wars, let's say at least with Clone Wars they gave us something on Darth Maul. That's what matters. But Kylo Ren being the main character, the main bad guy, or main group of bad guys. He was mostly the main one. Like we didn't know a single thing besides he was a Solo. Like I mean that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, like I think I would have not liked Phantom Menace a little bit more if like they did and this is Darth Maul, and then he never talks throughout the movie. Because Maul only has, like, 2 lines in Phantom Menace, and that's it.
Ray Park. Yeah.
And, like, that, which made him even better, I think. That silent,
kind of more like that, like, shadowy figure, specter.
Shadowy, yeah. And then, he dies, and then, whatever, next movie.
Well, he didn't die, but,
Yeah, well, He died until he died until it was 2008. So
2008. What?
That's when Clone Wars started. I don't know when
2012 is when 2012 I think is when they introduced.
Is that when 4 was? Yeah.
It was like February or March I think when Maul was introduced. It was like the end of season 4.
Yeah, but he was dead until then, and but like if he had kept going throughout the movies, I would have been annoyed if that was just his only thing we got to hear about him.
Dude, I remember when they announced that, like Maul come back. Oh my lord, people were freaking out. It was so funny.
I mean, he's a great character.
Oh, he is a great character.
That's why I can't wait for the trilogy that's only going to be having with Captain Phasma, and that's it. It's just the Captain Phasma trilogy. Who she has her own comic line, by the way. If you're wondering, she also has a book. She also has a book called Phasma.
I bet a lot more.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm not picking it up. I'm like, I don't really care
about Phasma. A lot more of her stories
Phasma.
fleshed out in a book that we had to buy instead of in the movies.
Dude, that tells you though right there where the series is. I'm like I said, I saw it in the bookstore. I'm like, oh, Phasma. I didn't buy it. I'm like, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Like, it just shows you where these characters are on the level of like fans and what we care about them. Totally,
when I saw that, I thought there's nothing I care about her, because I know what happens in the movies where I know she's just gonna die in the dumbest way possible. So what's the point of reading about this, this backstory of her being some trooper? Like what's the point?
Yeah, man.
We know she's a bitch also, so it doesn't really matter. Like we know she's not a nice person.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. It was. I'm at the point where, hey, I'll take it for what it is, but it's not going to be a movie that I'm like, the end of the saga. Rise of
Speaking of Clone Wars and the season 7, that trailer, that was pretty great.
This might be a sin, and hear me out.
It is. Whatever you're about to say.
I'm very early on in the Clone Wars. But I couldn't resist not watching that trailer, and I watched it, and it looks amazing.
Yeah, it is. I think you'll like that trailer. You would like that trailer even more if you had watched the
music.
Because there's a lot happening in this Clone Wars trailer that if you've seen everything.
My favorite Star Wars, like anything that's been media made, is Clone Wars, and that's probably partially for nostalgia because I grew up with this show. It's on Cartoon Network late nights, and I was like, in 4th grade. But like, it's also it's so Star Wars. That's what Star Wars is. It felt like amazing. Like the character growth, like it focused on the clones. I just love that show to death.
Yeah, this was one of the Clone Wars was part of the dying off of cartoons that made people think. Like a lot of cartoons now are just mindless, like
stupid
toilet humor and slapstick. Which I'm not saying there's anything wrong with those things, but I feel like if every channel is that, then what's the point? Clone Wars,
Cartoon Network.
Cartoon Network, yeah, exactly. Clone Wars was like there were moral dilemmas in Clone Wars that was like, sure you could do this, but something else bad is going to happen. And I felt like they worked it even better in Clone Wars, where there was decisions that you knew that certain things were going to happen because you've seen Revenge of the Sith, so you know what's going to happen. You've seen Star Wars, you know what's going to happen. But even knowing that what they had to go through during that time, just for it to be inevitable, basically, just makes the characters better and makes the prequels better. Like
it gave the clones like a personality, and I like that. Like they all look the same. It was kind of cool. Dee Bradley Baker, I have to give him props. He's probably like one of the best voice actors in business.
True.
How he did it. But like he would even do some different monotone changes with the clones. Like you'd have one that has more of a thick accent than others. You'd have one that's more like like gritty kind of like throat, kind of gravelly, kind of like like veteran kind of style.
Some would talk faster, some would talk slower.
Yeah. Echo was kind of like the nerd, so you had like that nerdy kind of like like oh well this says
there was a little bit of nasal to some people. Yeah, exactly. you could tell like they were all the same, and you could tell they're all the same, but just certain voices,
body
haircuts, tattoos, scars, armor colors. You could tell that there's things that set them apart.
They're almost like Vietnam soldiers. Like they'll like customize their own armor. Like they paint it, like like cool designs and all that.
Yeah,
like Marines. Like
but I think that makes it just even better, just fleshing out the prequel era and seeing that made it better. But yeah, I'm so excited for season 7.
And what was good about it too is like as a kid, in a way, it kind of got you like used to death because it gave you like connected to these characters like the clones, and this was a war. They didn't pull any punches. Like clones would get killed off. Like, there was like no hiding it from there was like a clone that got like eaten. There was like they got stabbed and like shot. Like they really didn't pull any punches. You saw everything.
Yeah.
It was a very up in your face kind of stuff. Like it wasn't like gory because Star Wars isn't gory, but it was very disturbing. Some of the deaths, and like I appreciate that because they showed like what war actually is and sugarcoat it. Like they're like, oh, here's just. That's what
I always liked. It was like cartoons that, obviously this is targeted towards kids, but like we're not just gonna make it, sugar coated and
Sappy,
super
sweet,
sappy, where like everything works out for the heroes. That's like something I always found is like a very good indication of a good show is when the heroes don't always win, because the heroes don't always win, in Clone Wars.
Never mind. We're done with Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
No, just real quick. That was my biggest issue. I kind of wanted the dark side to, even if it wasn't just like a full-on like conquer, I did want them to win in some way, shape, or form, whether that be Rey join the dark side or just something like that,
Yeah.
But that's besides the point.
Yeah.
And then Endgame or Infinity War did it perfectly. I know it was obvious that stuff was going to turn around in an Endgame, but even in Endgame, the bad guy won.
But it shows these perfect people aren't perfect at the end of it. That's what it's supposed to show. It doesn't show like if you just keep winning all the time, it's like, okay, well, these people are untouchable. If they have like a godlike complex, And if you actually make the hero, or even necessarily a hero, just a character you like, what's the word? You kind of lean towards. Admire, yes. If you make them more weak and more humbled, I think it's a stronger character connection, no matter what media it is, whether it be Star Wars, Marvel, anything.
Yeah.
They have to make the character grow. They can't just have, that's the issue with Rey. Back to Rise of Skywalker, getting off this topic. But Rey,
I'm sorry.
She's perfect at everything. She's like the perfect, individual. Oh my god, she's a god. She's great with, like, a lightsaber.
She never loses.
Exactly. Ahsoka is the best female Star Wars character. It changed my mind. You see her grow from season 1 up to season 7. Everything changes. Her demeanor, her personality. She grows up. As a kid, she's like very ignorant. Then she realizes like, oh, this is war. This is not just an adventure. Like she comes to realize like, hey, people are gonna die. This is serious. And I like that.
That's another thing that I thought was great with Clone Wars is that you got to see that kind of where you get to see this is what it's like being born in war,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you get to see, and that has like some kind of social commentary as well. But I liked it as a also Star Wars thing because you got to see that the Jedi, and you see this a lot, is where a lot of people are like Jedi are supposed to be peacekeepers, but if they're peacekeepers, why are they generals? Why are they?
Did Ahsoka say that in the
commercial? Yeah. She it's not just her. Yeah. Yeah, but there's like in the Clone Wars, you get to see soldiers. that they are supposed to be peacekeepers. They're supposed to be ones that aren't on the front lines. Yeah, they're supposed to be there. Then if they're peacekeepers, why are they generals in a war? Why are they, why are they commanding fleets?
Mm-hmm.
Why are they, why are they the ones giving an order if there should be a bombardment or not, like if they're peacekeepers, and you get to see that in Clone Wars
and all that crap. Like, let's just go kill innocent villages because they are aligned with the Separatists. Like that's that ties into Palpatine kind of like twisting them and making them that way. And
that's another great thing is one of the main reasons the prequels got so much hate is the overuse of politics and the politics not making much sense. And it relying so much on hearing about politics in Star Wars. Those are some of my favorite episodes in Clone Wars. Is when when they talk about, politics and, ambassadors, because you get to see more of things that happened during the war, not just like, and here's another thing that's going to give Palpatine power. In Clone Wars, you get to see why they're giving him that power. You get to see him manipulate people.
And you get to see like the conniving kind of like snakes that politicians are in like the show. Like you see, like there's episodes where people get poisoned because they're aligning with the wrong people. Like it's actually the Clone Wars is very, when it comes to like, obviously the show's not realistic, but like you said, it has very modern day social commentary. I mean, obviously you don't have like politicians getting killed left and right, but like well you do. But it's not like Clone Wars is extreme. Let's be honest. Star Wars, they always like have like some issue, But I like how they took like war. But it was very well done the way they handled it and stuff.
Yeah, and, I'm long story short, basically, I'm very excited to, see Clone Wars come back. I am kind of happy that they've said that this is the last season, though.
Closure.
Because
That's the major thing.
Because I was, because like that was the problem with the them canceling it. Is that we didn't get to see really the ending of the Clone Wars. We didn't get to see that ending. Of course, we saw Revenge of the Sith, and that was the the end of the Clone Wars. But we never got to see like the battles and stuff like that. We got to see Order 66. We didn't get to see the end of the Clone Wars, and that's what I wanted to see. In this, there's been a lot of rumors going around that the ending episode is actually going to take place during Episode 3,
which I really want to see. And as myself personally, I like to see either this from Clone Wars. I either want to see it end off. If you ever watched the original Clone Wars prequel, that ended the cartoon, the 2D one. It ended with Anakin and Obi-Wan going after the Chancellor. So, like, the minute you finish it, boom, go right into Episode 3. I either want that with this, or like you said, we're like, there's a heavy rumor. So spoilers. I mean, JL, I guess this kind of goes for you too. I mean, I don't know.
Let's go for it.
Season 7. Okay. There's heavy rumors because if anybody knows Star Wars lore, and if you don't want this to be spoiled in case this does happen in Clone Wars Season 7. Ahsoka, during the Order 66, the reason why she's never mentioned in the movies is their excuse is that she's on Mandalore with Captain Rex. Is it Mandalore? Yeah, Mandalore. With Captain Rex, which you see in the trailer with Darth Maul and stuff. And that's when Order 66 goes down. So I either want the last episode to be that happening and Ahsoka and Rex disappearing, and that's like the end of the Clone Wars, so you can pick it up right there. Or like you said, I want to see parts of Episode 3, maybe also. It all just depends. I want it to be like right near the beginning of Episode 3. I don't want it to be this gap of time that's passed, I want it to be like, boom. So you can just you can finish Attack of the Clones, move right into Clone Wars.
Yeah, because they talk about it during Rebels, and I really want to see, I want to see why Rex no longer has his chip. I want to see why...
Well, we know why.
Well, I want to see that. I know it. I want to see. I want to see what events had to happen for him to remove that thing, and for Gregor and for Wolf. I want to see that.
Yeah, someone in the chat, like I said, I'm not up to date on Clone Wars. I'm working on it, but someone in the chat, Star Wars for Life, said I want to see Ahsoka and Rex on Mandalore.
I like his name.
So.
No, I definitely want to see that. I want to see
Or her.
I want to see the sacrifices Rex makes too, because we know Rex is in turn. I want to see, dude. No, it'd be like really sad. I don't know if they do this though.
Cody.
What if he has? What if he has to kill his own men? What if he has to kill his own men? Seeing
the 501st fight each other, that was a great episode.
Or like seeing trying to have snap out of it, and they're not listening. He said to put him down because they're gonna kill Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Like just to see his brother's turn on him would be like it'd be really depressing and sad. But this is what Order 66 is. I don't want this to be sugar coated like Disney's done.
What if they start playing the actual Order 66 music?
Anakin's betrayal theme.
Yeah, the Anakin's betrayal, dude. I would love that.
Yeah, I would love that too.
Love that.
What's cool about this is like if you play like Fallen Order also, or anything Order 66 related. No, but everything that's going on at that exact moment. It's kind of
that's
crazy
the great thing. That's what I love about it.
Gap.
Yeah, that's what I love about it, is where like there's things like that where it's like what's happening, but now that you know what's happening, it makes that even better because you know what else is going like. Because, spoilers for Fallen Order. It's been out for a long time, but Fallen Order, you see what you're there when Order 66 happens. And, when I was playing that, I thought this is really cool because I know that right now, Mace Windu just died. I know Anakin just became Darth Vader, and that's really cool to think.
The temple.
Yeah,
Obi-Wan's,
to think that these are. Yeah, to know that these things are all happening at the same time makes it that much better, and I just like that so much. And I'm excited. Would be very happy to see that in
as much as like
season 7.
Messed up this is the sound. Order 66 for me is probably the best like era time of Star Wars. Cause I like seeing like you said, I like seeing all the different like reactions either clones had or like Jedi had. Like I like seeing like everything going on because it's probably the biggest moment in Star Wars. Nobody can argue that. It's probably the biggest game changer. It just legit wiped out everybody that was like had involvement in the Republic, like Jedi and everything. It was just very like a massacre. And it was just one of the most interesting time periods. You want to see what happens and where they got to this point and how.
Yeah, I remember when because they changed the thing. What the old canon used to be is that the clones didn't have chips. They were just really loyal to the Republic. and that's why they did Order 66. And I remember when they changed that, where they had chips, I was kind of annoyed, and I was like, that kind of gets rid of some of that like kind of feel for me about these like really good soldiers, you know. But then I watched the Clone Wars, and they talk about, you know, and you see this connection that the clones have with their Jedi generals, and I'm like, okay, I see now why they had to do the personality.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I'm like that's what I was saying too. Like, how would
there'd
Rex
be no
just
way.
kill Anakin? I'm like, there'd be no reason like Rex would just turn, like, after everything they've been through, like on the battlefield. Like, you think they grow as characters in general? They wouldn't just be like, oh, let's just go kill you now. Like, it's just, they had to make some excuse for like why they just snap. You know, I have no.
Yeah. Killa5222 just said it would be pretty cool to see maybe a reference to Fallen Order in Clone Wars Season 7, which I totally agree that would be pretty cool. I have seen that it's basically confirmed now that Kanan from Rebels is supposed to be in it.
Really?
Yeah. Before he's Kanan, you know.
Oh yeah, what's his name again? I forgot his like actual name.
No. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Fallen Order takes place after Episode 3, before Episode 4.
Yeah, it's after Revenge of the Sith.
How far after Episode 3?
It's like right.
Years?
Is it? Yeah, it's like. I think
it's 5 years because Cal's like 13, so he'd be like 18 in Fallen Order. I think it was like 5.
Yeah, I'll have to look that up. I don't remember the exact time. I think 5 sounds right.
What I personally liked from Fallen Order, you know, the game had some flaws. Cal may not be the greatest protagonist in my opinion, but I really want them to touch on this in Clone Wars also. I want to see like the PTSD that comes from Order 66. It's a massacre. Like, it's not just like, oh, they betrayed us. Okay, whatever. Like, you're seeing your friends get freaking gunned down in front of you. Like, there's freaking people like just getting killed. It's like not even just like this little event.
5 years after Revenge of the Sith.
And like, I want to see like that going forward in anything. I want to see like PTSD and how it affects these Jedi who survived and like the Survivor's Guild, because everybody knows Survivor's Guild's a thing. You know, when it comes to anything, I want to see like how that goes forward. I want to just like dust it off, like, oh, this happened.
Well, that's something I liked about Rebels with Kanan, is he had that Survivor's Guild. Obviously, Fallen Order. God, why am I blanking on his name?
Cal
Kestis, yeah. He definitely has that. You can see, where he's like basically cut himself off from the Force, and he has to kind of go back through and reteach himself how to do all these things because, he's been away from it so long. He kind of had that as well. And, it's kind of cool to see like these real life emotions with people who their entire lives were basically taught to control their emotions. It's just another thing showing, to have like a religion like that where you're based off of controlling your emotions and being one with the Force, and like the Force is supposed to guide you and everything happens for a reason kind of thing. And then this happened and it's like, oh, so is this what was supposed to happen, or what are we supposed to believe at this point?
Well, if you really look into deep into this, I mean, we're getting kind of a little bit off topic, but I mean it's still Star Wars related. But like, if you like,
hey man, this is a Star Wars podcast now. I've taken over.
Star Wars podcast. There's more to it than that. Okay, beginning half Star Wars podcast. Oh, shut up. No, but if you really look into it, like Anakin, everything they said brought balance. He did. There was 2 Sith.
They say that in. I thought that was a very interesting comment in Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, he did bring balance though, because it was an awful way he did it, but he did do it. I mean, the prophecy was fulfilled. He killed like legitimately every Jedi, except he didn't kill like personally, but like he murdered most of them. So it was basically equal at that point. Because if you think about it, the light side was getting kind of powerful. They were all like very much like controlling everything too. So you had to look at it from both kind of points of view.
That was always like kind of in the Star Wars thing, that was always the Jedi's downfall, is that they're an ancient religion with way too much power, with way too much say in the government.
Wow, that's totally not a what's it called, a metaphor for some other stuff. Yeah. Let's not get into that on this podcast.
But he says something like in the game it shows Cal witnessing his master's death because of Order 66. Yeah, that would be cool to see Cal before.
So you guys say you want like to see the effect of Order 66, but I'm like, much further are they going to go after Order 66 in the seventh season?
Oh, I don't know. I don't think they're going to go that far. I think
I'm saying future projects.
The rumor is that the last episode is going to be in in Revenge of the Sith. Like the last episode will take place during Revenge of the Sith at some point. That's a reason I think we're just saying that because that was a reason that I liked Fallen Order so much, is that you got to see the effects. You know,
yeah,
you got to see that the same thing in Rebels.
Yeah, it's realism. You know.
Yeah, and you got to see that in Rebels, and I just really like that, seeing that kind of connecting everything together.
I just want, from Season 7, I don't want Disney to Disney-fy Clone Wars, because Clone Wars ended when Disney really didn't have a lot of say in it. You know? Like, I don't want them to be like, just like I said, just kind of be like, oh, off screen. Like, I want it to feel like Clone Wars. I want it to just feel like, oh, this is just kind of like a sequel to Clone Wars, like, you know, like a sequel epilogue, which it kind of is, but not really. I want it to feel like, oh, you can watch Season 6 and then go right into Season 7. It feels the same. I don't want like a massive tonal shift, if that makes any sense. Because that's what worries me, because Rebels, I'm sure, like you say, gets darker, but Season 1 is way too kid-friendly, and Resistance is way too kid-friendly. So, like, I don't want to see Clone Wars go down the same path. Because Clone Wars,
I will say, Rebels
kid-friendly,
Rebels gets darker, but Rebels doesn't get as dark as Clone Wars does at its darkest moments.
And like, I don't want like I said, a hard, like, you know, awful like scene, like terrible violence. I mean, it's Star Wars, but I want it to feel like Clone Wars. I want it to feel gritty and like kind of down to earth, not just like perfect and clinging and washed over.
Yeah. Apparently, there's also been rumors of Resistance now getting a third season.
Well, aren't they changing the animation style back to Clone Wars? They said like Rebels isn't that getting like a sequel series? It's gonna be like Clone Wars.
Yeah. Rebels is getting not a season 5 but a sequel. But Resistance is also supposed to be getting another season that will take place.
Redo Rebels and Resistance with the Clone? No, that would take so long, wouldn't it?
That would take a long time. Also, I don't have a problem with. I have a problem with the Resistance animation. I don't have a problem with the Rebels animation. I don't like, because everyone in Resistance looks the same to me. They all look like they're like half Slender Man. They have like super lanky arms.
They look like cell shaded in Resistance.
I don't like that, but I think we're getting a little bit too off topic now.
Yeah, that's good though. I mean, stay on the topic of Star Wars, I guess. The Obi Wan Disney Plus TV show was put on hold because Kathleen
delayed indefinitely.
Kennedy practically said she wasn't happy with it.
She wasn't happy with the scripts.
Well, Ewan McGregor's come out and he said it's getting blown way out of proportion, supposedly. He said that, I think, and I think he said it's still on track for the same release date, supposedly, but I don't know how they're going to make that if they don't have a script, so I'm going to see if that changes.
Honestly, I'm done with Kathleen Kennedy, man. Like, there's been nothing she's said or done that has made me go, wow,
hasn't she worked with Solo and Rise of Skywalker?
Well, she's worked with them. I don't know if she's worked on them.
Working... I don't think working on... She's just like the head of Disney or whatever. Or, no, not the head, but like...
Just Star Wars.
Yeah. I was reading some comments about this news, and it was funny. I saw one, it was like... the fact that she canceled it probably means that what was canceled was actually good, and what we're going to get is going to be trash.
Yeah, if going by Kathleen Kennedy's record, if she didn't like it, that probably means it was good.
Yeah.
They're probably gonna try to shoehorn some of the stupid Force. I hope not.
She said no to the original Solo movie. She said no to the original Rise of Skywalker script. She's just a bad person.
Bad person. There's been nothing that she's done that makes me go, well, maybe we should give her another chance. You know, there's been nothing that she's done that I'm on her side about at all. You know, I
don't know, dude. It's just
I just feel like she doesn't have the same appreciation, like, you know, that
We do. Give us the keys, bro. We'll make a good movie.
Give us the keys, bro.
You need to be passionate.
We will
That's the
storm
problem.
Disney.
You can't have somebody in charge of a series or anything if you're not passionate about it.
Yeah.
You're just be driven by nothing.
Which is why
the
Dave
MCU
Filoni
works. Because
Dave Filoni should be the head of Star Wars. Because him and his magnificent cowboy hat will take over and we'll make it all good again. He's going to make Star Wars great again.
Dude, I don't know. Maybe kind of past that. I'm not going to lie. I think Disney's just, like, Kathleen's just kind of tainted it. I'm not even going to lie. It's to that point where people are never going to accept Star Wars the way it used to be after the sequel trilogy. As much as I hate saying that because, the fan base is stubborn. I mean...
Give it time when we get that next trilogy. And it has nothing to do with anything.
See, I want to say I want them to focus on Clone Wars stuff, or prequel era, like live action stuff. But I'm kind of scared they're going to ruin it. I'm not going to lie.
I want them to not do movies. I'm okay with Mandalorian. I'm all about Obi Wan show. I would like to see some more games, maybe.
Oh, dude, games, Star Wars, you can have, and dude, they can fit every genre. There's like every genre of Star Wars game. You can have a Star Wars fighting game. You can have an open world RPG. You can have just an open world Grand Theft Auto scenario.
Not a Star Wars fighting game.
Why?
I don't know if you heard about that guy who. Him and his kids made this Star Wars fighting game using Battlefront 2 models, and it got a lot of traction, and then Disney shut them down. But
dude, they have a golden goose, and they're just wasting it. That's why I just hate so much about it.
Yeah, it's like they're focusing all of their stuff on one media, and that's what kind of annoys me. Sure, they're spreading it out, and it is in other medias, but I feel like they're not promoting those medias enough. Where it's like. Oh, here's this comic that explains this stuff, and it's but they never say anything about the comic. And here's this TV show, and then they never say anything about the TV show. And here's this game, and never say anything about the game. But then a movie comes out, and it's we only want you to see this movie and nothing else.
Well, Mandalorian, though, had a lot of traction, so TV shows, I don't know about that.
I feel like Mandalorian only got a lot of traction because of fans, though.
I feel like Mandalorian only got a lot of traction because it was a big selling point for Disney Plus when it first launched.
That is true. I can possibly see that also. I don't know, man. I just want to have Star Wars feel magical again, as stupid as that sounds. It's lost its luster to me. Mm-hmm. And I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I love it to death, but I
wouldn't say huge.
Anymore. No, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I just don't
if you were, we would be playing Battlefront 2 more often.
Just because I don't like a game doesn't mean I'm a big fan of the entire series. Just because the game is boring.
Boring? Right?
Yes, boring.
Interesting words for
anyway,
lightsaber range.
Conversation. What I'm getting at is I just want Star Wars to feel alive again and not like something else.
Yeah, I see it. I want season 7 to be good, and I think it will be based off the trailer. I don't want to base everything off the trailer, but based off the trailer, I got very excited for it. It looks Clone Wars, it looks Star Wars, it feels Star Wars. I'm excited. I really want this to work. I really do.
Yeah, 100%, dude. And even at the end of the day, even with the Obi Wan TV show, it's just I want it to be good. I want it to be worthwhile. I want it to, just have substance.
At this point, it's I don't care how long it is. I honestly don't care how great it looks. At this point, I just want it to be good.
At this point, I don't even care if it touches on the topics and story I wanted to touch on. I just want it to be good, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude.
Yeah, I really just want it to be good. I want something out of it that I'm this is just us seeing the same thing again, but now it's a different guy is the whole thing. Yeah, that's great. Woo. But yeah, I at this point it's just I want it to be good, and that's kind of sad to say. Where you can't have expectations anymore because everything's gonna be disappointing.
Yeah,
at this point.
everyone's gonna be disappointed at something, dude.
Well, I can see that where where things are like, some people find it good, some people find it bad. But I found like the majority of people in Star Wars are just,
Complain about
are
nothing.
not, yeah, either not liking or just complaining about nothing, and it's
Yeah.
just, yeah.
It's something, but it will stand the test of time, dude. It really will. It's just something we're going to see and wait for, and hopefully it gets better. But
I have faith. I think it will get better with time.
Hallelujah.
And also, I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I think you're gonna see the same thing with the sequel trilogy that the prequels happened. Everybody despised them, and people are gonna be like, okay, maybe they weren't as bad as we thought. Surely they screwed some things up, but like,
no,
I don't know. I think you will. I think you'll see some people. Not everybody.
I know
Let's
for a
put money
fact.
on it.
I know for a fact I'm not. The thing is with the
Yeah.
sequel and prequels, dude. The prequels were poorly put together with decent stories. The sequels are put together.
Poorly put together with bad story.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think over time you'll see people like loosen up to them a little bit, especially kids that grew up with the sequel trilogy. Like, let's be honest, they're gonna
I
grow up
think
and be like,
and
okay,
that's
well, this is my trilogy.
we're going to disagree on this, dude, because I think kids that grew up on the sequel trilogy, they're going to go back and they're going to watch the older movies like you and I did, and they're like, "Wow, that was a lot better." If they have the patience, because then you have to bring
That's one thing.
then
Yeah.
you have to bring like generational stuff and how like Gen Z kids like we don't have the same patience and our attention span's that of a goldfish, and it's just hard for us to sit and watch a 2.5 hour
Yeah.
movie. But
Right. Yeah. The
for
having a kid today watch A New Hope,
oh,
I'd be surprised if they
sit
wanted
through the
to sit
whole
down and watch
thing
that entire
without
thing.
picking up their phone.
So to be fair, I've seen this. There's this one YouTuber, and it's his dad, and he like watched Star Wars with his kid, and his kid was like was loving it the entire time, and he like I think he started off with the original trilogy, like it was the first Star Wars movie. He was asking questions and being like typical just like kid who wanted to know stuff, and there's just a lot of videos like that where I'm like maybe there's
hope.
hope. But yeah, that's another thing that I always had a problem with, especially when Rebels and Resistance came out. Because when Rebels came out, I wasn't a big fan of it either. Everything looked really kid friendly, and there were some times where they would cut away from a stormtrooper getting shot or something like that, which they stopped doing that after like season 1. Though even at the end of season 1, they really stopped holding their punches. I thought this is a bad thing to do, is to show this very kid-friendly version of Star Wars, because if a kid sees Star Wars Rebels and goes, wow, I really like this, and it's super kid-friendly, and I really like this, and then goes, hey mom, hey dad, I want to watch Star Wars. And then in Star Wars, you see people's hands get cut off, you see people dying,
Get people shocked out of a window.
that's gonna be quite the trauma to go, let's look at this, and everyone lives happily ever after, and then you see Luke's hand get cut off, and you're seeing that one guy get force choked, and people exploding. It's gonna be quite the upset.
Lando Calrissian clapping. It's crazy, dude.
with no music.
It's crazy. Those kids are gonna be traumatized.
Yeah, I don't think that's one thing that I was just. This is not a good idea to go.
Dude, I'm telling
Let's
you,
have everything happy.
If I get the opportunity, man, like let's say 10 years from now, I'm out with the military, whatever the case may be, and I had the opportunity to pitch an idea to Disney about a script I wrote for Star Wars, because without a doubt, dude, I'm going to 100% write scripts for Star Wars, just because I like storyboard and I like coming up with ideas and like seeing they come to fruition. If I get the chance, dude, I'm going to 100% take that. Even if what I'm thinking is a vision I want to see in just me, I still like.
Yeah,
dude, I think.
I'm gonna have to ask one thing though.
Uh-oh.
Does Disney let you write a script, you have to promise me that you write me into the script and I get to wear Luke's yellow jacket.
All right, yeah, you'll be in the background. You'll be an extra.
Yeah, okay, good.
Okay.
But I get Luke's yellow jacket. That's all I ask.
You will wear Luke's yellow jacket. I'll make sure that's a
Awesome.
Yeah. You'll just be in the
Okay.
or we can have like a ceremony scene and like you're in the crowd.
Luke takes his jacket off and he spins it around his head and then he throws it into the crowd and I catch it.
Yeah.
He has like a t-shirt cannon, but he puts his jacket in it.
Yeah, that's gonna be it. Yeah.
Everyone's gonna love that scene.
That's gonna be the scene. That's gonna be the closing scene to the
Disney,
first movie of my trilogy.
Get your notes ready.
Now we're gonna see the Old Republic movie, and that's gonna be the final scene, and we're gonna sue, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I want an origin story. I want a comic series of that yellow jacket. I want to see where he got it. I want to see who he bought it from. I want to see who wore it before him.
I want a 3-hour movie on that yellow jacket. I want it to be called Leather, a Star Wars story.
Leather, a Star Wars story.
Look, I'm still waiting for Gonk, a Star Wars story. So whenever I get
Gonk.
that, then sure.
Well, you just wait till Taika Waititi announces.
Yes, bro. It's gonna be a droid movie.
Droid movie.
But,
Gonk, Star Wars story.
Yeah,
Got
man.
kicked out of the factory for having a personality chip of my own.
We've been talking about Star Wars for an hour, bro.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, maybe it's time to shift some focus now from Star Wars.
This is
So
great.
No, I'm taking this podcast over. This is my time to shine. Up there's time. Down here's my time.
Down here is my time. Yeah, I don't know where I was going to go with that.
Goonies reference. Yeah, no, I'm just to put it all in summary. The sequel trilogies are not my favorite. I have a lot of disagreements with them. I'm excited for season 7, and I hope it ends at season 7. I want to see more games. I want to see more books. And I want to see more advertising for things that aren't just a movie that we are brainwashed to see.
All right, to put that in, better terms, the sequel trilogy sucks. The games are trash.
I was
Season
making
7
it
isn't going to
polite.
be good. The comics are awful.
Jay,
You have to read the comics
your
to get in the
opinion?
story. And it will
Alright.
never be good
I think we
unless
get the
Disney
gist of it.
realizes that Star Wars isn't just a profit machine.
Did you know there's a comic series where we're just kidding, man. This is a podcast.
Topics here for this podcast.
Hey, this is a
Come on.
podcast. We can do whatever we want. No one
This is my
controls us.
show.
We're not controlled by Disney. We can do whatever we want, man.
Yeah.
No, there's a
controlled by
comic
time,
series. There's a Star Wars comic series where Vader sees this one person pod racing. Like he finds himself in like a pod racing tournament. He's not in it, but he finds himself at one. And there's a human pod racing, and there's like the announcers going on about how he's like, there's been no human that's ever been able to do this. There's been no human ever that can pod race like this. So Vader gets really angry and destroys the pod racer. And guess who was driving the pod racer? It was Luke Skywalker. And I thought, this is what's going on in Disney's comic world right now for Star Wars. Is they went, how should we have Luke and Vader interact without actually interacting? Let's have Luke in a pod racer and Vader get really angry and destroy the pod racer, but them never meet. That's the Star Wars world. That's what we have now. And
I want it.
There's
I
only-
want a movie.
yeah, Jalen.
Mm.
That's the next big Star Wars game. They had it back. They had it way back then, but they should bring it back. Star Wars pod racing
In VR.
in VR. Oh, I got to make a phone call after this podcast. I'll be right
Kathleen,
back.
if there's one thing you need
Kathleen,
to listen to me about is
Miss
this.
Kennedy, Miss Kennedy.
Make this the first and last time you ever listen in your life.
The first and last time.
All right.
Okay.
So yeah, Star Wars is awesome.
if we want to, we can move on from Star Wars now. I give you permission.
Thank you. So
And another thing, no.
episode 10 has just been revealed.
Well, we got another game delay. Here we go again.
But yeah, no, Captain Marvel 2, obviously, we knew it was coming, the sequel to
The marveling.
and it's possible that it could have a new director and writer.
Thank God.
Is there going to be a new actress or?
Dude, I'm sorry.
I hope so.
I don't have anything against.
Dude,
Brie
I'm
Larson.
sorry. That movie's bad. I'm sorry.
It is not bad.
I like Captain Marvel more than I like Far From Home.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, we differ with those opinions, but I respect it.
I don't think Captain Marvel's a bad movie by any means.
I don't either.
I think Brie Larson.
I think Brie Larson's the worst part of it.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I think Brie Larson, just her portrayal of Captain Marvel is rough around the edges. I feel like it's a solid movie though. It's like a C+ tier movie. It's not a bad movie. When I think of a bad movie, I think of Rise of Skywalker or Far From Home. I don't think of Captain Marvel. But
what's Captain Marvel's real name? What's their actual name?
Danvers.
Yeah,
Carol Danvers.
Which is
Jake
a
Sully.
new iteration of the character.
Not Captain Marvel.
Because Carol Danvers, her comics only started in like 2008, I want to say. It was late 2000s.
The issue with me, dude, with Captain Marvel, I'm sorry for any character. Brie Larson, I think, is not a good actress. Personally, I don't think she delivers, which I think we all agree on.
Just real quick, why is the movie bad? Is it because Brie Larson's not good?
I was trying to explain that.
Yeah, because
So
I'm curious. I want to hear
that's what
this.
I'm
Say it.
For me,
No.
I just feel like they tried so hard to make a character like resonate, be like, oh, this is the one like badass female character. Like, I mean, like, but they have black. Like, I just feel like they just hit it so much over the head to the point where people are just like, okay, we get it. She's great. You can stop now. I just feel like the movie was like not very. I'm trying to think of the correct word for it. It's not
Good.
pretentious. No, it's not very. They just tried so hard, man, to make a character that's like awesome, and like I get it, dude. A character, in my opinion, what makes a character awesome, no matter if it's a male or female, whatever, as long as it's a good reason for why they're doing something, a great backstory, like they need to have everything that makes a character great. You can't just throw on a pair of spandex like, oh, she's the most powerful woman in the galaxy, and be like, oh, she's the best character there is.
Interesting. I feel the same way about a certain property.
Yeah, right, from Star Wars. But
Sometimes
I'm
it's a
just like-
onesie.
Sometimes it's a robe.
But like, I don't know, man. I wanted a sequel. I'm not saying it's bad enough not to get a sequel. I mean, I hope that she learns from the first movie. I think it will be better than the first movie. But I do think maybe another director was needed. I don't know. I think that they tried just way too hard to make her this like epic.
Yeah, I kind of do agree with you, Matt. Where I kind of felt like the same thing. Where it was kind of like in Suicide Squad, Oscar-winning Suicide Squad.
Oscar-winning Suicide Squad. Yeah.
Where every moment they got a chance, they would talk about how they're bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why'd you break that glass? What are you talking about? We're bad guys. They're in a bar and they just talk about how they're bad guys. I kind of felt that same way with Captain Marvel a lot, where it's like, I'm not only powerful, but I'm also a woman. And that was brought up a lot.
And I have no issue with like Black Widow. The movie may not look the greatest, but like I think they could handle that so much better. And like, you know what?
Yeah.
She's a badass female character, and you don't need to like completely knock people over the head with it. Like, oh my god, she's a woman, so she can do whatever she wants to do. Captain Marvel to me is just like, we get it. She's great. You can stop now. Like,
there are some great female heroes in Marvel.
There really is. There's tons of them, dude. Like, they were just so. In my
Scarlet
opinion,
Witch.
they're being so narcissistic. That's the best word for like whoever. Like, I feel like they're being so narcissistic. Like, oh, Captain Marvel's the best. She'll be the best because she's a woman. You can have so many other women characters out there that are great. Like,
What's
Yeah, Killer
Siri
5.
from Black Panther.
Killer
Black Panther's
5222. Shuri.
Sorry.
Shuri, yeah.
Killer 5222 said all that Captain Marvel did in Endgame was save Tony and dick slap Thanos.
Exactly, dude. Like, she really, like, it was just an excuse to be like, oh look, she's powerful again. It's like I think you gotta write the character around the abilities. That's why Superman and stuff, Man of Steel, he feels vulnerable. He's a man who's like impenetrable, and they made it feel like you can relate to him. He feels very, very fragile in certain circumstances. Captain Marvel, I'm like, okay, well she can just easily kill all those guys and be done with this. Like they didn't really make me feel like she was humble at all.
So my thing is, I'm not disagreeing with you. There was that feminists probably like just push in that
Needless amounts.
But then again, it was guaranteed to happen. So but
it doesn't have to happen though. Just because
it was guaranteed to happen. If you have a movie with a female director and female lead, it's bound to happen. Same thing with
Wonder Woman didn't have it. They did not have the announced near lead.
It didn't have that much, but it did have it. However,
it did have it.
However,
I will say.
However, I'm not one to look at when I watch a movie. I analyze it from a perspective of the beginning, the middle, and the end.
The beginning. Oh.
I'm not a person, clearly there was a political agenda in that movie. And that's fine. There's a political agenda in Joker.
Yeah, but see, being a good critic is more than just laying out like, okay, beginning, middle, and end. You have to look at the characters.
I do, and I'm well aware. I just said this. Captain Marvel is the weakest character in the movie Captain Marvel. That's a fact. But
that's the problem.
But I'm not.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's why I don't think it's a good movie. Like, if you can't say it's a good movie, be like, oh, she's the weakest.
I'm not saying it's a good movie. I'm saying it's not a bad movie. It's a decent movie. It's not the worst MCU movie ever. However, it's just. I
mean, it's not. I guess bad. Then that's beginning. Is like that's not. I'm not saying like it's atrocious. I'm just saying like, dude, it's so like. It's just not what it should have been. It's not a good movie. Like, I mean, it's not bad, but it's not good. It's like it's not even like middle. It's honestly closer to bad for me. It's a rough movie. That's the best way of putting it. It's very
I feel like another big issue with this movie. A lot of people don't know who Carol Danvers is, and her character is kind of like how she's portrayed on screen. It really is. There's a little bit more emotion in the comics. Brie Larson just is not a great actress, and that's perfectly fine. But
it's not perfectly fine though. If you're having a massive character like this, you have a good actress to portray the character.
Her character in the comics is essentially what we got on the screen.
I read the comics though, but the thing is though, they still humanize her. Like you can't have a character with a god complex to the point of like. That's why I'm hoping. I'm not talking about writing the character off. I want them to like. They can still turn this around. There's plenty of trilogies in the Marvel Universe that have like one bad movie. Like friggin' Thor. Thor: The Dark World is the worst one. But that didn't kill the character off. I didn't like Thor: The Dark World. I thought it sucked. I liked Thor 1 and Thor 3. Captain Marvel, who knows? Captain Marvel 2 could turn around and surprise me and be like, oh my god, she is a cool character. They just gotta, like, give her a reason for people to rally behind her. Not be like, oh, she's perfect and she's a god. Okay, worship her. That's my issue with the movie.
Well, I feel like the movie... I feel like the movie itself wasn't about humanizing her. I feel like it was about figuring out who you are. Like, I feel like it was more of, like, a personal journey than, like, an external journey, you know? I feel like...
But they just used the cheapest in the book, like Amnesia, because of the whole, like... It didn't feel very...
To be completely fair, at the beginning of Captain Marvel, she's not human. She doesn't know she's human.
Exactly. It's a personal journey. It's her trying to figure out who she is. So to say that, oh, she's not human enough, she's not, she's not humble enough. I mean,
there's no character, dude. That's the problem. It's all just
but that's the thing. That's the thing, dude. She is like at the beginning of the movie, she is not a human. If Tony Stark, who in the Iron Man movies, obviously he's human, but let's say he was from a different planet. Let's say he was from a different planet, and he was just he didn't show some of the human traits that us humans would show. You can't get mad at Tony Stark for not showing those traits because he's not human.
It's like
here's the thing, though. Even in Endgame, though, dude. Even in Endgame, she was so obnoxious. She shows up. Okay, let's go kick Thanos' ass. I'm like,
but that's just her personality, dude. If you don't like her personality, then I don't know what to tell you.
No, dude. That's all I'm getting at, though. It's a mixture of everything. It's not just personality. Like, there's just nothing for the character except she's powerful. That's all the character is. There's nothing behind her.
I think the problem I had with Captain Marvel was that she was never what's the word? she jumped around too much in how she acted. Sometimes she would be super cocky and she would be super confident, and then the next scene she's like, "Oh, I don't know if we'll be able to do this.
She's
I don't have enough."
Lost in despair.
And dude,
Yeah.
there was no.
But there's
reason.
no connection of why she feels that way in
Here's
those
the
two
thing,
different
though.
scenes.
With me, there's no reason. You don't even have to watch Captain Marvel to watch Endgame. The only reason they made that was just for her to show up and stop, and kind of help stop Thanos. You could completely written her character out of Endgame, and it was still in the same movie. Because you could have the backup reinforcements arrive, they could have, the freaking flying characters and stuff, have, the Milana from Guardians, take out the Destroyers. You did not need Captain Marvel. It was just such a shoehorn,
You can say that
here
about
she comes.
a few Marvel movies, though.
Which ones?
Doctor
I mean, I'll probably
Strange.
agree with you on some. Doctor Strange? Yeah, no, but dude, no, not really. He had a major point in Infinity Works. He's the one who knew the ending. He knew how to stop
Ant-Man.
Thanos. Ant-Man, he brought everybody back. He went back and friggin' helped. He went back.
No,
with
that was a rat.
Wait, what? No, I'm talking about
Remember the
whenever
rat that brought him
the time
back?
travel thing though, the Pym particles. He's the one who freaking. The thing with Captain Marvel is she had nothing in the story except destroy his ship.
Well, that's not Captain Marvel's fault. That was the writing.
That's what I'm getting at. Is that she's not a bad character. It's just the direction they're taking with her I don't like. Like I said, Captain Marvel 2 could have me completely turn around. I could love the character, fall head over heels for her as a character and just as a person. But dude, it was not a good first impression for a lot of people, and it's not just me. I'm not bandwagoning because you know this. Because I went to the theater, I watched it, oh, that's a pretty good movie. Then I thought about it, with Rise of Skywalker with you. I thought about it, okay, there were a lot of things that weren't needed. There was a lot of hitting you over the head with women are great. That's not the major complaint. That's just a side thing. People who hate the movie just for that, I'm sorry, that's stupid. For me, it's just the whole character.
This is my thing, dude. I feel like this movie got way too much hate than it deserved. First and foremost, I feel like this movie is not a 50% movie. It's not.
I feel like a 60. I'd give it a little bit more than 50. I want to say it got
if
too
it's
much
a 50% movie,
hate.
we're putting this in the same boat as Rise of Skywalker, and I'd rather watch this movie 1,000 times before I even
I
think about Rise of
totally
Skywalker.
agree with you. That's what I'm saying.
And then another issue with Captain Marvel is the social aspect of it and how people want to bring what's happening outside of the movie into it. And this is just the one tiny thing that irritates me personally the most about moviegoers is the fact that you're going to walk into a movie. I'm not saying this is what you did. Oh man, I know you. But people walked into this movie and
definitely.
people sat down and it was like, I'm not going to like this movie because Brie Larson's in it. Because of what she said about men.
I know people who haven't seen the movie just because Brie Larson's in it.
I totally agree with you.
Ridiculous. Let me give this
movie
movie a bad rating because a specific actress is in it.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I don't like
For me,
Quentin
I'm backing
Tarantino.
points.
I don't like Quentin Tarantino. He's an awful person. I will live and die by his movies. He's a great filmmaker.
Kevin Spacey, dude. Kevin Spacey's a freaking creep and a weirdo, and look at him. He's a freaking astounding actor.
He's a good actor.
I totally agree with you. You can't. But the thing is with me, she is one piece of the whole puzzle. Is the reason why I don't like it. That's more of just like the feminism thing in her. The whole complete collection of it all is why I'm not a big fan of the movie. Story, character, actress, the feminism head crap. All of it combines what makes this movie for me. It's not just one thing.
If I may ask, what do you want to see in the sequel?
What I want to see in the sequel, more character development, obviously.
It's set in present day, also.
Yes, I want to see more character development with Carol. I want to see her kind of come to grips with okay, I have these powers on my shoulders. I got to keep myself in check because if I start going to the point where I'm okay, I can do everything, I can solve everything, then you start becoming oversure of yourself. I want to see
have
her
a Superman dilemma.
Exactly. I want to see her have a weakness. I want to see them give her character development. I don't care what love interest she has. I mean, that's fine. Throw a love interest in there if it fits the script. I don't care if it's a woman or a man, whatever the rumors are. I just want to see her as a character, not just a cardboard cutout, not just a plot point, but okay, powerful lady, destroy ship, save Avengers, that's it. I want to see her actually have a purpose in the universe. I want to see her actually get somewhere in the universe. I don't want them to just be just look at the Force. Again, Star Wars. Oh, it can now magically heal somebody. I want there to be a reason, not just a what's it called?
Plot point?
Excuse. Yeah, an excuse. No, just an excuse for how things are. she's powerful enough to defeat Thanos. That's how Thanos is defeated. That's an example. That didn't happen, but I want them to use her as a character, not a weapon. Is the best way of putting it.
It's a good way. Same.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I really don't know what I want in the sequel. I just, once again, I know the first one wasn't the best movie by any means. Like I said, it's a C+ movie for me. I put it in like a 65-70 range. I do want a better movie, and I do want a more grounded movie, and I want a movie where the characters have more substance, and I want a movie where Brie Larson just does a better job, because if the worst part of Captain Marvel is Captain Marvel, there's an issue in itself. But for me,
please, for the love of God,
me at least,
don't toss that bunch of needless feminist propaganda. Please, we get the hit.
For me, at least, her being the worst issue of that movie didn't make it bad, because what the movie was, take away her bad acting at some parts, because some parts of the movie she was good. I'm not saying she was completely trash throughout the whole entire movie.
Oh, no, I've seen.
I liked her story.
Exactly.
I liked her
that's
story.
That's one redeeming factor. That's one of the redeeming factors of that movie for me. I like the story. I like the theme. Samuel L. Jackson was awesome.
I liked her.
She
backstory.
needs to find. I think she could play Captain Marvel. I think she needs work on acting in general, because I think she's very flat. But she needs to find a personality. Like Jake said, she flipped back and forth like crazily in Captain Marvel. Like, there was like 1 minute cocky, next minute sad, next minute angry, next minute I'm powerful, next minute sad again. Like, you got to have a definitive like tone of your character and their weakness and how they.
But then
things.
that kind of coincides with her still trying to figure out who she is and where she's from, though.
But that was even after the end. Yeah, but just like, dude, the minute she remembers, she became cocky. It's like, what? Like, you just go 0 to 100, like out of nowhere, like, oh, I'm powerful now, I can kick your butt.
Yeah, I think
and
the
before
ending,
she was like,
I think her attitude at the end was a big turnoff for me. But like throughout the movie, like all her emotions that she was experiencing, it wasn't really like for me at least, I wasn't like, why is she experiencing this? What's wrong here? Why? Like, it was like, well, she's on this journey. She's trying to figure out who she is, where she's from, and even like in the scene whenever she was talking to her friend, it was sadness, and you could see that, and it was explained why. So
she went from sadness to like, oh, I can freaking kick these aliens' butts. Like, just she went from like not knowing who she was to be like, I'm a god, I can do whatever I want. The quote God of War. Like, that's basically what happened with her character.
I don't think it was that blunt of a transition. I think there was.
Dude, she legit shows up, wrecks shop, and then kicks John Wrong's butt, and then just goes back and just like, okay, well, that was just very. Like, there's no like development of how to use her abilities. Like, she just used them. That was it. Like, there was no like development of like.
Well, to be fair, she did have the training on. What's it called?
Yeah, but that was more hand in hand. That wasn't
Hell.
because they taught her not to use her powers, because that was the whole point of it. But then she just knows how to use all of her abilities at the end. I'm like, okay. I'm like, this feels very random. I'm like, okay. But I mean, I can get away with stuff like that. Those are nitpicks for me, but I just want a more stable character in the sequel.
Mm.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can take or leave Captain Marvel. I wasn't taken away, but I didn't think it was a great movie.
It's not. It's just really just kind of meh for me.
Yeah.
I'm not really a big fan of it. It's just.
I'm a fan. I love women.
I mean,
I'm a big fan of women.
Women. Love them all.
Women.
But yeah. So on the topic of movies, this is the last one. Colin Farrell gives first review of the script for Matt Reeves' The Batman, and so far, looking good.
I'm so excited for this movie. This is my most.
I can't wait for it to be. I can't wait for it to be nothing when Flash 1 comes out.
Comes out
Dude,
June 25th, 2021.
This is by far my most hyped movie, because I think Matt Reeves knows what he wants to do with the character. He wants a detective film, which is what Batman is. Not this over-the-top, vigilante.
What if I said it was all in black and white?
I mean, it'd be kind of cool.
Shadow mode.
But, dude, he's just jumping into it. Like, okay, bam, Riddler, bam, Penguin. Like, no origin story. Like, thank you. He's been Batman for like a year or two now.
It's
just get to the point of the character. We've seen enough origin stories.
It worked. I think this is a good idea because it worked for Spider-Man.
Yes.
And the Marvel universe. And I think it's at this point that we know. And, it worked for Man of Steel as well, where it's like we didn't really get an origin for Man of Steel, really.
Well, we did. It wasn't like really. Like,
it was
kind of weird. It like went back and forth.
It wasn't an origin. It wasn't an origin movie. It was just. It had like.
origin.
Yeah. I really like that. I'm really happy that we don't have to spend 45 minutes going, and this is how he became Batman, because we
don't need the whole dilemma about like crime's gone to the point where I can't stop it. I got to embrace the fear. I got to train. Like, thank you for just skipping that, and I hope we better not see his parents get shot. I'm over that. Like, have a reference.
That's the one thing. That's the one thing I would never agree about. I think it's okay if you cut back to the thing. I think it was done well in Justice League, where it was like he was asleep. You know, it's like he's working late, and I like that scene. I didn't like how it went with the scene. Like, it felt like it came out of nowhere, but I like the scene by itself. Where it's Justice League, I believe it was, or was it Batman vs Superman? I can't remember. It's the one where he like passes out, and he has the
wakes up the Flash, like yelling at him.
Yeah, but yeah, but that's when he falls asleep and his parents get shot or whatever.
Well, no, Batman vs Superman was the beginning of the movie. You saw that. It was like the credits. Yeah. It was like a stylized version of the credits, which to me that felt kind of off. I'm like, this feels really weird. They're just kind of like glossing. I mean, I get they're trying to show it, but like they didn't really land with me. I'm like, okay, they got shot. You know.
What if the Batman is in the same movie as the Joker?
I don't want that. I want different.
I don't want either.
I want Joker to be separate.
Joker needs to be separate.
Yeah.
I want to see a different Joker that's more like a comic book movie Joker, not like, you know, a political.
I don't want either of them to be connected, but because of the success of Joker and because everyone loves Joaquin Phoenix, I wouldn't be surprised if Warner's like, all right, let's bring them together. I wouldn't be surprised. It wouldn't surprise me.
I don't think it would work because that wouldn't.
Because Joker's more of a social commentary. It's not really a Batman.
I don't think it would work. It could work, but I think there's too much of an age gap between Joker and. Yeah,
it's rated. Dude, I mean, I've heard they're pushing for rated R for Batman. I would not mind that as a fan. But here's the thing.
He said,
remember, he's a kid's character too.
I didn't mean that. I meant in Joker that Batman, like Bruce Wayne's like a kid.
Well, no, but
Joker's already like 46.
Also, I mean, like, dude, you remember, Batman is a very marketable character. I wouldn't mind seeing a rated R Batman by any means, but kids want to go see it. It's Batman, you know. It's almost like giving like Spider-Man rated R because
in the interview they said, and I don't think Spider-Man and Batman are even remotely the same.
No, but popularity-wise, like kids know, dude, they're the most popular heroes in the face of the earth. Batman and Spider-Man.
Yeah, if there's a Batman movie, kids are gonna want to go see Batman.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting. I'm not saying they're connected like all this.
In the interview, he said that the movie is very beautiful, very dark, and very moving. Those were the words he said.
Yeah.
So
I hope so. I want to be the best Batman film that it can be. I want them to succeed past Dark Knight because I feel like everything's living in Dark Knight's shadow. That movie's perfect though, so I feel like it's gonna be really difficult.
I wouldn't mind if the movie's rated R. I kind of want it to be rated R.
I think they could do an rated R cut. I don't want the whole movie rated R because, like I said, kids I think should see it because it's Batman. But if they have like an extended Blu-ray or 4K release with rated R, not like Justice League or BBS, not Justice League, BBS, like where it's just bad like editing, but have like actual scenes that can be rated R in the movie, you know, like actual scenes that benefit, then I'm fine with it. I just don't think they should release it rated R in theaters. I feel like that'd be it'd miss out on a lot of cash that way.
Yeah.
Because of kids. So.
No, that's not a good excuse anymore. Joker made $1 billion and it's rated R.
Yeah, but dude, Joker.
I'm sorry, I mean, the stigma that rated R movies don't make a lot of money, it doesn't work anymore.
Though, dude, no, Batman is different than Joker. All right, Batman is a character kids know, and they're like, oh look, Batman, Mom, want to go see Batman? Oh, we're sorry, Billy, it's rated 18 up for blood and gore and violence.
Name the last Batman movie that made $1 billion.
Dude, yeah, but here's the thing: you're comparing two different sides of the coin here.
It doesn't matter. Joker's rated R is already at a disadvantage.
I'm just saying, when it comes down to it, I think it'd be. I wouldn't mind seeing. Like I said, I wouldn't mind seeing one, but I think it'd be. I just don't think that they're gonna do it. I would rather have them not, because like as a kid, I know I'd be disappointed if a Batman movie was rated R and I couldn't see it. So like, I would feel kind of bad if like a little kid's like a huge Batman fan, like it's just blood and gore and violence and just like swearing at his parents, like no, you know, we're gonna skip this one.
Star Wars for Life said Batman beats Superman, but is rated E for everyone.
It's like the meme. It's like, Mom, we get Batman. Sorry, we have Batman at home, and it's just Adam West instead of like the new Batman movie.
Could you imagine how disappointed you would be though? Like, imagine you're a parent that's like, oh look, new Batman movie in theaters, and then like it's like the kid's like, I can't wait to go see Batman, and then it's like, Oh.
See Batman freaking
Yikes.
just choke something and fucking beating his face into like meat on the
Yeah.
concrete. It's
I don't
like,
think.
okay, you know what?
Listen, if the movie is rated R, I don't think it's gonna be like a Watchmen style rated R. I think it's gonna be rated R because of like the themes and tones. I
Bruce
don't.
Wayne
I
has
just,
ED.
yeah, but here's the thing: Dark Knight was super dark, and that was PG-13. So if they can do that, they can make this PG-13. That's just how I see it. I don't see why it needs to be rated R. Batman, especially Suicide Squad, different story again.
Rated R cut.
Hmm?
They had that rated R cut.
Well, yeah, no, I'm talking about the new Suicide Squad.
Oh, that
was to be
one,
rated
okay.
R. Yeah, not
Yeah.
the new one. That's different. I'm fine with that because that's Suicide Squad. But Batman is just such a marketable character. I think it's a mistake to make it rated R. It's just because of kids and everything.
I don't know.
Dude, they're gonna want to sell toys. They want to sell toys. You know this. Every time a movie comes out, they're gonna want to sell toys to kids.
What are you talking about? I saw a whole bunch of little kids on Halloween dressed up as Arthur Fleck.
What? When? Yeah, exactly.
What kids you scoping
Yeah,
out there? You saw?
yeah. Wait, why do you look at kids on Halloween? Hold up.
Because they walk down the streets. You
Wait, when
Yeah.
did Joker come out? Joker came out before,
It came out
after
the-
Halloween, didn't it?
No, it came out the
It
first
came out,
week
like,
of
right around
October.
Halloween,
It came
so
out the
yeah.
first week of October.
Yeah, some
October
kids
3rd.
walked up in a Joker costume talking about society, and I was kind of scared.
Star Wars for Life said Adam West, but it's rated R. Rest in peace, Adam.
Exactly. Like, dude, they're going to make toys for kids. Like, they're not going to... Warner Brothers would be stupid to make it rated R, honestly.
Dude, you can't compare today's Batman to Adam West, though. Just like you can't compare.
No,
Batman
yeah, but
to
even Dark
Spider-Man.
Knight, though. Dark Knight, they made toys. You know why? It was PG-13. That's why they made toys. You can't really market toys for kids off a rated R film.
But
It's just one of those
Batman
things you can't
Begins,
do.
You
the
can.
movie
You just have to
tying
add a lot
game-
of extra blood.
Batman Begins, the movie tying game was rated M for mature.
Wait, what? Was rated for mature?
The movie tying game Batman Begins, it was
Oh,
rated.
was it rated T for Teen? I played it. It was T for Teen.
Are you
Yes,
sure?
I am positive. Arkham Knight was the first rated M Batman
Right,
game. So that was
right,
this big
right.
board was like, why is rated M? It's stupid. And it was just because of Scarecrow and stuff.
That game should have been rated. I'm sorry, there was nothing in that game.
The only reason it was
Yeah.
because of the scary scenes. That was it. That was just stupid. But yeah, it should have been T.
Yeah, we.
That's what I'm saying, dude. It would just be so out of place to be rated R, Batman. I'm sorry. Unless it's like this dark, like the cartoon movies are different. 'Cause you can get away with that kind of stuff because those are a niche audience. But a big blockbuster Hollywood film with Batman rated R would just not fly, in my opinion, with the studio heads.
I think it would. Because it's proven, and it's been proven numerous times through Logan, through
Dude, these
Joker.
aren't kids' characters. You have to remember that.
Wolverine is not
Like
a kid's
Logan-
character.
He really isn't. The X-Men movies kind of made him more into like a well-known hero. He's not a kid's character per se, though. He's more of like they make him look that way, like for cartoons. But dude, if you like you said, read the comic, dude, he's freaking brutal.
Have you
and
seen
violent.
the
He's so
Japanese
cool.
cartoon with Wolverine?
Japanese cartoon with Wolverine versus Hulk? Is that it?
No. It's like a TV show. It's like, and it's just about like Wolverine and how like when he lives in Japan and stuff. And it's an anime. It was
No, I
only
never.
for like
I've never heard of
it
that.
was only on
Never
for
heard
like
of it.
one season. Oh, let me try to find the name of this dude.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, I know what you're trying to say. I get
And
it.
it was
but, like,
it was
dude,
hard, dude. It was like really
But,
like
dude,
grisly.
like Deadpool, Wolverine, Joker. Like, those are characters that could easily be marketed that way. Batman is one you just really can't if you want to have like kids and stuff.
Oh,
So
it
it's
was
just-
just
Star
it was
Wars.
just called Wolverine. It came out in 2011. It only lasted for one season.
Star Wars for Life said, "Would you want to see a Superman rated R or Wonder Woman?"
no. I
No,
just
none of those
no,
would
that doesn't
work.
fit those characters.
You
It doesn't-
just wanna-
out of
you
the
just wanna
characters
see
we're
a-
talking about, out of Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, the only one who would work is Batman. That would,
So you want to
That
have
was- yeah, but I don't think they do
just
that. That's
the
the
one?
thing again.
that?
I
like,
think what they
that would be
could
kind
do-
of weird.
Here's the thing: make Batman PG-13, but make some of the other like interconnected Bat family movies rated R. You can have a Nightwing movie rated R, a Red Hood movie rated R for sure.
Red Hood.
Like you can market those characters, but this Batman, you just couldn't. Like he could show up in them. I'll be fine with that, but like just don't make it so where kids can't watch Batman. I feel like it's just not cool, anyways. Because I feel like a kid would want to see Batman movie. It's just depressing if you can't. I mean, honestly, I'd be sad if I couldn't go see the movie because rated R. I was like little.
I mean,
I don't know.
a lot of kids wanted to see Deadpool.
Yeah, and the
I
parents
still
took
saw
them to,
that.
which I have different.
Yeah.
I have different varying opinions on that, but okay. It's just, I mean, I don't know if little kids go see Deadpool, but that's fine. Everybody has their own way of parenting.
yeah. If Deadpool would have came out when I was young, my parents probably would have taken me to go see it. That's just my parents.
It all just depends, but like, I mean, just the humor and stuff for me is I'm just gore and stuff. It's just the humor. It's very like raunchy, which isn't It's just.
But that's the thing. I mean, if your kid's young enough, they won't know what it means. That's why my parents took me to go see a lot of movies.
You just gotta make sure you don't scar them though, like freaking bullets going through like heads and blood spraying and freaking like awful gore stuff. Like, it doesn't get scar them for life. So it's either make sure they don't understand the jokes or scar them.
And I was so young when I was watching movies like that, and I think I turned out good. I only have 2 twitches a night.
And I turned out perfectly.
It's not even about turning out wrong. It's just like you don't want to like make your kids like upset. It's like what they see on the screen. It's not really about them like turning into like killers and that crap. It's just
beautiful.
Fine.
But yeah. Can't wait for this rated R Batman movie coming out next year. It's gonna be awesome.
Alleged rated R.
Yeah, this is probably
the Flash rated R. Oh my god, that'd be hilarious.
Dude, DC just start making everything rated.
Let's just go all out. Let's go all out. If we're gonna make Batman rated R, make everything rated R.
I want a hardcore, freaking brutal Batmite spinoff movie rated R.
Batmite. That actually, like an MCU, but like a DC universe rated R universe. Even though it would cut out, all the kids who want to see their favorite superheroes, I say we do it. Just have like.
Oh, it'd be cool. I'm not gonna deny it. It'd be cool, but I feel bad for the kids that couldn't see it.
Yeah, I mean, let's
just
do
remember,
it.
just because you can see as a kid doesn't mean that every kid's gonna have.
Let's just have it happen. Well, I mean, you can still take your kid to it.
Dude, a lot of parents aren't like that.
Well, sucks for those parents.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, like, yeah, sure, some kids can go see it, but like, I just don't want Batman rated R. Just have a rated R cut, and I'm fine with that. Just don't release a rated R. That's my final.
How about this? They make a PG-13 version, and then they make a rated R version. You have to go back for like movie DLC.
Yeah.
So Deadpool. What's fun? Deadpool.
I never saw that movie, and I'm okay with that.
I watched it for 20 minutes, and I never finished it.
Apparently, it wasn't funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I mean, Batman. I'm really excited for it. My top most hyped comic book film above anything MCU related. I'm not even really that hyped for anything MCU coming up, honestly. Unless it's Daredevil. Don't talk to me.
MCU.
What about
screw the MCU right now, dude?
Dude,
when is all the shows supposed to come out? When is all this shows supposed to come out?
Sometime this year, I guess. Probably this.
Well, I heard Falcon and Winter Soldier. Hasn't that been postponed? It was like some sort of like some.
Was it really? That was the only one I was wanting to see. Really.
Oh, don't worry, we're getting WandaVision, the live-action sitcom.
Whoa! Yeah.
Dude, I don't want to be
rated R.
Out watching that rated R sitcom.
Rated R sitcom.
Right there.
Domestic abuse.
Laugh tracks and everything.
Hello, we're Disney. We like to cover a lot of things in our movies and topics. Today we're going to talk about domestic violence in the home place.
Do you imagine like Sesame Street? Like,
oh my god.
This episode is brought to you by the letter D for domestic abuse. It's like all those you've seen all those
and
Muppets.
Now, for our special guest, he was very well assorted with this kind of knowledge, Chris Brown.
Oh my god!
Give a big warm welcome to our special guest, Chris Brown, everyone.
Wait, this is gonna be the MCU Phase 4.
Wait, Chris Brown in the Marvel Universe? Yeah, or I'm in.
Yeah, you've seen all like the Sesame Street characters, the one that had autism and the one that had AIDS.
They're not adding any more black people into the MCU. That's final.
Don't worry, we have 2 black sidekicks. That's enough. We have War Machine and Falcon. That's like
Black,
if you really think about
Panther.
that is like very like on the nose. Like, dear God, like they really were just sidekicks.
What, War Machine and Falcon?
Yeah, they didn't have anything besides being a sidekick.
I thought you were saying them being black was on the nose. I don't know. Like, I've never associated Falcons with being black.
Out, I mean,
I've never associated Falcons and War Machines with being black.
Yeah, can't wait for Phase 4. I don't know how we got here.
The guy here from the magic of podcasts and talking about topics.
Yes, sir. Do you guys even want to talk about these video game topics? Because we're pushing 2 hours here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down to talk about it.
Down Light 2 has been delayed and Batman got a new skin. Alright, guys, appreciate you guys for watching.
Wow, love dedicating an entire hour to stupid Star Wars, but then guess what?
Stupid Star Wars? You're a fool, and so's your face.
God forbid we have a pop culture podcast, that has anything to do with this.
We talked about culture, we talked about pops, and we talked about today. We hit all the points, bro.
I just think, I think gaming would be a nice little diverse at the end there. We've just done my movies this whole time.
Go for it, man.
Yeah.
Start talking, man.
You're supposed to be in charge of gaming. That's your section.
Yeah, well, I'm not able to pick the topics next week. Somebody already picked those for me.
Maybe you should be more interactive, man.
Interactive? Well, if I knew what I was looking for, then sure, I'll be down to be more interactive.
Hey guys, so a Batman game that came out in 2015 gets a costume.
Well, that's not really news. I was more thinking about Dying Light in the PS5. I'm not really talking about Batman.
Well, as a person
let's hear it, Game Boy.
Yeah, let's hear it, gaming
anyway,
kid.
Gamer.
Joining the group of games being delayed this year, we got Dying Light 2. A game I was looking forward to because the first one was pretty good.
We've been looking forward to every one of these games that have been delayed.
Dude, I'm telling you, they're only doing this just to get more money when the PS5 comes out. There's no other reason. It's not because, we need more time.
Didn't this game get delayed for the fall? It got delayed for fall.
It's been delayed indefinitely. There's no release date yet.
Oh.
It's just been like, okay, nope, not coming out this spring. I'm like, okay, well. And apparently, like, Cyberpunk and stuff, apparently they said they couldn't run on the PS4. It's just like, I feel like these are just really... I mean, I'm not a developer.
I heard that rumor. I heard that rumor that Cyberpunk, the reason they stopped is because...
I feel like these are very convenient excuses for not putting them, like... I feel like it's just to put them on PS5, but that could just... I don't know. That could be not the case. I'm not a game developer, so I don't want to judge them for that, but I don't know, man.
Can you imagine making a game that you have to have, like, 2 generations of consoles to go through before it's ready for you?
Like, I'm sorry, like... It's just, I don't know. We're going to have no games this year, dude. Like, Cyberpunk's been delayed.
No, we're going to have a lot of games this year. It's just going to be all in the last month of this year. And
yeah, can't wait to go
PlayStation 5 has been delayed indefinitely.
Dude, you're going to go from September, right?
Kathleen Kennedy didn't like the scripts.
Cyberpunk. Whatever other fall games have not been announced. The new consoles. You're going to be broke. Like, there's going to be no, like, spacing out these, like, releases. Someone's not going to make money. There's going to be a game out there that's not going to make what they want to make because they're going to be all crammed into one little area. So, I don't know. I feel like it's going to be Avengers, personally, but I don't know.
Avengers has, like, a 2-week advantage on Cyberpunk.
Avengers!
Dude, but I don't know, dude. That's a close call. Plus, people are already up in arms with Avengers, so I don't know. It's one of those
Avengers! Assemble.
But like I said, this is why I don't pre-order games, because they're always getting moved around. They're always getting shifted.
They're not always. Not always.
All the time, dude.
Fallen Order didn't.
Well, yeah, Fallen Order's rushed, let's be honest. Great game, but buggy as hell.
It was like the first trailer.
Okay, so I didn't have any... I had, like, one bug in that game.
Dude,
that was with the lightsaber.
The graphics are butt cheeks. The
graphics aren't that bad.
He wipes dust off of an X-Wing, and the dust replaces itself literally after he wipes it off.
Okay, so that part is bad. I'm not saying it's great. I just don't agree that it's, like, horrible, like you guys have been talking about.
Didn't you have, like, wasn't you send me a picture of a glitch of, like, Cal, like, I don't know, something wrong with, like
I said, that's like the one glitch I've had.
I've been slingshot across the map.
I don't think I had any
glitches. Never happened to me.
I don't think I had any glitches, but it was an ugly game.
Matt, maybe it's something wrong with you. You ever think about that?
No, I love the game. The game's great, but it's
maybe something's wrong with your PlayStation.
It definitely could have benefited from a couple months of just, like, simmering a little bit more before they released it. Yeah, exactly. It just...
I mean, it didn't make the Game Awards anyway. You might as well just release it a few months later.
Dude, that still annoys me. That Death Stranding got one, but that didn't, because the cutoff. Apparently cutoff's a week, so it's crazy. But but Dying Light, I mean, I'm a little bit worried because I was really looking forward to it. If it's indefinite, that usually means it probably won't be for another year or so until we get it, most likely. But if it's good when it comes out, then I'm happy for it. But if this is just a delay, just to put on next-gen consoles, and that's just ridiculous to me. Because we've already lost, like, 5 games that were supposed to come out this spring. But hey, what can you do?
Riot.
Right.
Take over.
Wow, thank you for the backup commentary right there. Right, okay.
What? You asked us a question, we answered.
What's here, Gaming Boy?
Hey, Game Boy, come on.
Dude, that's what we should call Matt, Game Boy Advanced.
Here's my Game Boy Advance. Hold on. Here
Don't you dare. We'll get copy struck if we hear that sound.
Speaking of consoles, anyways, for the last gaming topic.
Dang it.
Time,
running out of time. We're already over time.
Yeah, my video having.
I'll say this topic then.
My video in the background is about to loop. No, just go for it.
Go for it.
Well, there was a leaked video today. It was more breaking news or whatever, and also leaked pictures of the new PS5 console. And these look very credible to me. They seem very, like, realistic. They don't seem very, like, far-fetched. Like, it wasn't grainy to the point where you couldn't see anything.
2 cardboard boxes and an LED.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it looks. I don't know. I think it looks really good. It looks very sleek. It looks modern. Like, if this is actually the console we're getting, then Xbox, I'll have to tell you, but I think at least visuals-wise, PlayStation's won this generation, but...
Once again.
If Xbox gets to look like a rectangle, I think PlayStation should get to look like a sphere.
The game sphere from Drake and Josh?
The game sphere from
Spherical! No, but dude, it looks really sleek. Like, I mean, the light bar is like, it's more on the top now, but it's like to the right of the console, so it's more visible. I don't know,
Does it
just
spin?
looks very futuristic. No, it doesn't spin. I don't think it's
We don't have any confirmation that it does or does not spin yet.
I don't want to
Exactly.
buy it then.
Oh, people are like up in arms. Everyone's like, "Oh, they changed
What'd
the
you
beep
say?
of the PlayStation."
You're not gonna buy it because it doesn't
Not gonna
spin.
buy it.
Yeah,
doesn't
if
spin.
it doesn't spin, I'm not buying it.
I'm only getting it for
People
that
are like,
function.
they changed the beeping. I'm not going to buy this console. I'm like, what? You're not going to buy it because the beep is different? Like, that's just so funny, dude. People are like, just gripe over the smallest things sometimes. I just don't get it.
That's why I still own my PlayStation -1. I didn't like PlayStation 1's beeping sound.
PlayStation 1s didn't beep.
Okay, I think we're tired. I think
PS2.
it's done. I think we're time to leave. I think it's time for you to
He's
go,
not a
sir.
real PlayStation gamer.
I think it's time for you to go, sir.
He doesn't.
So it
he doesn't
is.
know the small things. But yeah, yeah, hour 56, man. We pushed it. It's the longest one yet. This is like
This is
endgame.
the start of something new. We're going to be doing 4-hour podcasts, so
Yeah,
please stay tuned for that.
Let us know you like this length of a podcast, because if so, our next one will be 5 hours long.
Please, please say you don't.
Jake doesn't like an hour 45-minute podcast, so yeah, Jake. If we talk for another
What?
3 minutes, this is the first time you can actually say that the podcast is 2 hours long.
Technically, it's an hour 50 minutes. So
Technically, it's not 2 hours.
Star Wars for Life said 6-hour podcast.
6 hours? Oh, lordy, dude.
You know how much gameplay we would have to record?
Yeah, that's a lot of.
6 hours.
The gameplay I pre-recorded was an hour and 55 minutes. I was about to loop here soon. But yeah, I think this is a pretty good podcast personally.
I like the Star Wars parts.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't go on for an hour about one subject next time.
Well, it
Just
was 3 different subjects just on the same property.
Topic.
Yeah, with the Rise of Skywalker, we got a little bit. Let's be honest, we got a little bit debate. We kind of went on there for a little bit of a tangent. All of us when it came to Rise
And
of Skywalker.
everyone
Right.
loved it.
Yeah, Star Wars for Life enjoyed every second of it. Has Star Wars for Life been the podcast since the beginning? this man's a champ.
When he
Respect.
his first comment was at 8:33.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was?
Oh no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It was
That's
at 7:41.
Yeah.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ,
so-
dude.
Well,
Nice.
What a Chad. We need to like come up with a name, like a description for our viewers. So like, you know,
Star Wars for Life fans.
No. I'm thinking like tendies, like chicken tendies.
My God, attendees.
No, we're not doing that. I can call them tendies.
Thank you to
We're
all
calling
of our
nuggies.
nuggies.
We should call them residents.
No, because then McJuggernuggets would come at us.
Dude, he's off YouTube now. He left.
You serious?
Call them residents.
Yeah, dude, I don't blame him either. He left because he was just fed up. He's,
Who?
you know, he makes story content. McJuggernuggets. He has a lot of story stuff.
Maybe
in
we
it.
No
should
idea who
leave.
that is.
Huh?
Maybe we should leave. Do a 6-hour
I
podcast.
say we-
Also, dude, you know, this isn't anything for us. You know, we're 3 podcasts in. What do we have to gain? Nothing.
54
You know,
subscribers.
YouTube screwed us over. But no, he left because he couldn't make the content anymore. They were just like banning all his videos and stuff because of like foul language. There's like, you know what? I'm dipping.
Oh yeah, man. I haven't watched this stuff in a while, but yeah, there was a lot of language, and especially.
I
with,
just know
like,
because it's a big YouTube like news thing. I haven't seen his stuff in like a few years, but
yeah,
I always liked him. He seemed like a pretty cool guy.
yeah.
Did you see what Star Wars? Did you see what Star Wars said? He said, "I wasn't here the entire time. I would put you guys on to go to sleep, but I like it."
Hey, that's okay. You know what?
At
At
least
least you
he's
kept him
honest.
awake. That's all
At
that
least he's
matters.
honest. At least he's honest, and we kept him awake.
Honesty is the best policy.
This is, you know, what Star Wars for
So I
Life.
put you guys on to go to sleep.
I mean, it would have been more like worse, honestly, if you put us on to go to sleep and actually went to sleep because I just show you how boring we were. So at least
You know
you didn't fall
what,
asleep.
Star Wars for Life. Welcome aboard. Welcome to the crew. You're one of the boys now.
Podcasters, assemble.
All right. On that note, we're gonna cut this one off.
Not lame. He put ZZZ.
Dude, you want to call them tendies? What do you mean? Call me the lame one.
I'd say we call them residents.
Call them tendies.
Residents? That just sounds scary.
That just sounds creepy. Yeah, residents. All right, all residents. A new podcast. It sounds like a dystopian thing. I was going to play over
What
the
should we call you
loudspeakers.
guys?
Like, all residents.
Seriously, man.
Please listen up.
We gotta call you guys something.
Poppers.
Poppers. I like that.
Don't. Don't.
Yeah.
I like poppers. What's wrong with poppers?
You know, off of Jake's way. You know, let's call them poppers because of popcorn chicken, not because of pop culture.
I like poppers, but yeah, we appreciate you guys.
Did you see what he said?
What?
Disability checks.
It's even better the fact that it pops up on the screen.
Disability checks. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, go to bed, Star Wars for life. We'll be back next week with some more videos.
Will we? I don't know.
Well,
that virus, dude,
Jake
might
and
wipe us out honestly before that happens.
Jake and I will.
Yeah.
Unless we're all dead. Then none of us will.
I'll get you your disability check, man. But yeah, appreciate you guys for coming out, enjoying the podcast. If you're watching this, you got something to say?
Jalen, do you have any plans of anything videos you're going to be putting up?
So yeah, obviously that Star Wars video didn't go up this week. Actually, it was a busy week, and I'm done with the script now. Just need to record and edit it. So I'm kind of happy I postponed it. Good night, Star Wars for life. I love you. Appreciate you for coming out, man. I'm kind of glad I postponed it because next week we got a lot of Star Wars news. So Jake, you're gonna be touching on Battlefront, and then yeah, just I guess not a lot, but yeah, we got some Star Wars news. So I'm gonna put it out then, and then yeah, I don't know, man. This past week was a pretty slow week, honestly.
Yeah, not a lot of stuff came out.
Yeah, and then I just didn't do stuff. So, what about you, Jake?
I'll be trying to do the Batman gameplay.
That's it.
I tried putting that up earlier, but file got corrupted or something happened. I'm not really sure, so I have to try to re-upload that at some point.
Another thing. Sorry. Go ahead.
And then, of course, Fridays. I'll put up Battlefront 2.
Are you going to post more Battlefront this week? Because of the...
Probably on Friday.
Okay, gotcha. And then we're also working on a Borderlands Let's Play, which I don't know when this video is going to come out, because my god, the way I'm editing this video is it's a process. It really is. And so I'm cutting like in between certain shots and like switching perspectives between...
There'll be a video every 6 months.
It's work. But yeah, hopefully we can start rolling that out soon. We'll see. But if you guys want to see anything in particular, just let us know in the comment section below. We'll try to accommodate your needs, and if not, then it's gonna be okay.
And my Battlefront 2 videos will have commentary like this last one was. So
yeah, I think everyone liked that, Jake.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
And by everyone, I mean me. I loved it.
You and what was it, Han Shot First or whatever that guy's name was?
Han Shot First, my boy. We have a lot of Star Wars fans on the channel, dude. It's awesome.
You're welcome.
It's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah, we got 2 Star Wars fans, and then everybody else is movie fans. Like
never.
But yeah.
Sure.
Sure. So yeah, Matt, you got any plans for the channel?
I mean, not at the moment. I really do want to make videos though in the future. Maybe some walkthroughs on games I like.
Okay.
But hey, all just depends on the schedule, man. If I get the proper equipment, because I mean, right now it's kind of tight. But maybe in the future, I'll be totally down for that. If people want to see them, walkthroughs of stuff. I mean,
no, they definitely want to see you,
Assassin's Creeds.
Been a lot of shout outs. We want Matt.
Yeah.
We want Matt.
Yeah, I don't think you've seen read the comments, Matt. There's a lot of there's a little cult following for you. You're kind of like the Alita Battle Angel of the channel, dude.
Yeah, you're like the Nick
Jonas.
No.
I'm not going that far. Nope, that's where I just cut it off. Nope.
We went 2 different directions.
Our fans have already started making shirts for you. They got your face, and I don't know where they got it from.
We already have fan made animations of just you and things you've said. all 6 things you've said.
Hi, my name is Matt. Oh, that's 5. Anyway, yeah.
Now let's keep this going for 1 more minute so we can get to the 2-hour mark.
We're already at the 2-hour mark. We're at 2 hours and 5 minutes.
Are we?
Yeah, dude.
Jesus. Oh, we need to get off the free. We stopped the recording.
But yeah, thank you guys for all coming out. If you missed any of the podcasts, just rewind. It will be uploaded to YouTube right after.
Rewind.
It will be uploaded to YouTube right after we end this live stream, so you can watch it anytime, anywhere, in any position you like. Yeah.
We need to get better. We need to get better at intros and outros.
I think so far it's been this. I think the intros is what we need to work on. This outro is perfectly fine with me.
Okay, goodbye, residents, and I'll see you next time on
Poppers.
Oh,
Killer5222 said pods.
Newsies.
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 Like
No.
the
Pods.
the Broadway, like the play. Newsies.
No.
Yeah, I
But
know.
since we're pop
just-
culture today, and we do news,
No.
there are
No.
newsies, journalists, unpaid interns.
We're going to call them interns.
This sounds like a slave trade at this point. Let's not go along with that. Let's not assume we have like.
we said
we have-
interns. We didn't say anything about
No one
slavery.
brought interns over on the boat.
They don't
What are
work
you
for us.
talking about?
They don't work for us. They're not getting paid. You can't make them
Well, they
work
kind
for
of
us.
do. They make us money at some
They
point.
gain knowledge.
At some point.
Knowledge is power, and power is half the battle.
We want Matt. There's a chance of restarting Matt, though they're putting it in the comments. You better come, Matt.
Stop the recording. I'm done. I'm done. Goodbye, everyone.
out.
Good night.
Good
and I'll
night,
see
guys.
you on the battlefront.
Oh my god.
And
Oh, also check us on Twitter. Twitter in the
yes,
description.
Twitter at official pop cult.
Because someone already owns Pop Culture Today.
Yeah, who owns? If you're watching this, stop. Give it back.
Well, they had it first.
Whoever took a
Give
pop
it back.
culture today, give it.
I mean, we could be a little bit nicer
Call
about it.
fans Maddies.
Maddies.
That's it. We're doing that. All right, guys. Appreciate you guys for watching the podcast. We'll see you guys.
See you later,
on the
Maddies.
Battlefront. Do I end the stream now?